98.5, the Sports Hub. Paisley Media Group Station.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots won yesterday, but there are problems to deal with. Drake May threw for a career-high 294 yards and a touchdown. Marcus Jones added a pick six, and the Patriots won their ninth in a row, 26-20. But starting left guard Jared Wilson left in the first quarter with an ankle injury. Starting left tackle Will Campbell left with a knee injury, and both were carted off the field in front of their quarterback.
I love those guys. Will and Jared, they've been meant a lot to me. I've got to know them in different ways, and it hurts. It's disappointing, man. But hey, that's this game. That's life, and they'll bounce back and help us down the road.
Campbell will undergo an MRI today. Patriots do have the best record in the NFL at 10-2. They host the Giants a week from tonight. The Giants made a run at Detroit yesterday. They lost 34-27 in overtime. They'll come to Foxborough with a record of 2-10. Raiders lost to Cleveland yesterday 24-10. Geno Smith was sacked 10 times in that game, and afterwards offensive coordinator Chip Kelly was fired. Celtics have 4 wins in their last 5 games. They outlasted Orlando 138-129 at TD Garden. The Celtics scored 80 points in the first half. Jaylen Brown 35 for the night. They'll host Detroit on Wednesday, and the Bruins played and lost 3-1 in San Jose. Morgan Geekie scored for the 5th time in 3 games on this road trip, but that's all the Bruins got. Macklin Celebrini had a goal and an assist for the winners. The Bruins are 1-2 on the trip. They visit the New York Islanders tomorrow night. Check that Wednesday evening. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Premier Basement Waterproofing. Our guys at Premier give thanks to every customer and wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Call 844-LIVE-DRY or visit premierbasement.net. It's game over for turkey, and it's always game over for water. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
Boston Talk Sports.
Trade Drake May.
We all know what, but we won't say what. Yeah, worst take on these airwaves in the last 24 hours.
We may not take a call today.
The Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
You might hate me, but you're listening.
and Hardy
Don't bother me. I'm at the Pickle Palace.
on 98.5.
I know what I'm capable of.
He said something about peanut butter, right?
Yeah. Boning, baby. Make America nut again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about cheese.
What are you going to have for lunch?
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Kitty, kitty, pussy, kitty, kitty, kitty. Flap, flap, flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Hardy
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Your arrogance, your pompous mountains. Again, I didn't have on my bingo.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy, Town Fair Tires Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch us on YouTube. If you subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. A lot of Patriots today. We have our regular guests of Mike Reiss, Bob Socci. Lots to talk about yesterday's game. And we'll get to all that. I have a broken tooth. You excuse me. Hey, Chips, I have a broken tooth under the gum.
Ew.
And guess how much that is going to cost to extract?
Multiple thousands of dollars.
Would anyone care to venture a guess?
Okay,
our
so-
insurance is covering $25. My insurance, our company insurance, is covering $2,500. But this is not rare for dental insurance not to cover a lot of it. But it's covered.
Are you going to need an implant?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, because they're taking out a tooth. They got to put an implant in.
It's going to cost you a total of $6,000. Is that so you'll be on the hook for what, $4,500?
I'll say it costs $4,500. You'll be on the hook for $2,000.
It costs $12,000.
Oh my gosh! Oh my!
$14,000. I'm on the hook for
Oh.
$12,000. Adam, what do they do with you? They just put gold in?
Yeah. Then I sell it.
Yeah. That's why you're
It's worth a lot these days.
That's why you're always eating that soft. That's always eating those spaghetti dinners.
That's right.
Can't have it al dente.
No.
I lived with a broken tooth. Same thing, and it happened like day or two like after Christmas years ago. And I got a box of Mike and Ike's in my stocking, and I bit down on a Mike and Ike, and I caught one of the ones that wasn't fully formed properly. It was kind of hard, and immediately I knew I had broken something. It was one of my molars, and I went to an endodontist. I went first with my dentist, then an endodontist. I went to the Harvard Dental School where they did like the 3D scan. That guy was crazy. He was like, "Oh yeah, you need this, and this." I'm like, "No, just this one tooth." And he was telling me like everything that's going to need to be done in the next 10 years. I'm like, "I don't care, just that one tooth." Like, yeah. And my dentist, my primary, said, "Look, it really hurts. And it's going to go away in about a week, and because that nerve is dying, and you're going to," she explained it as, "you're going to feel the fireworks go off. It's the pain will be there, and then at some point when that nerve finally dies, it's going to be like this, almost like an explosion of pain, and then it will subside and be gone." And she was right, and it was like terrible for a week. And then it was gone, and I let it go for 2 years because it was just fine. It was still in there. It was just cracked, like well down below, wherever it was. And after the nerve died, it was fine. And then it started creating like another issue. I'm fine. I finally had it extracted and had the implant, but it was 2 years after the fact.
Yeah, this got infected, and then it swelled up really bad. But I never went to the dentist, and then it got infected again because the bone is like poked into the gum, and then that's causing an infection. So now it's quite painful. Oh. And they gave me pain pills for it, and those are A, worthless, and B, I don't like them the next day. Like I don't react well to pain pills. I guess I'm fortunate because I don't get any pleasure or anything out of them. Like I took the pain pill, and I'm like, and then I'm like, it didn't do anything. And then,
well, I find that it doesn't necessarily take the pain away, but it makes you not care.
It doesn't do that to me. It doesn't put me in a state. This has always been the case too. Even when I was like a kid, and I guess this is not uncommon. My body doesn't react apparently to opiates like most people's do. It's more of like an amphetamine for me. Like it doesn't have any relaxing qualities, and then I can't sleep. Then the next day is bad.
Once again, the opiates are being introduced into a pharmautically competitive environment,
which is always a good argument, but this is not the case because even when I was a kid and didn't drink or anything, and didn't take anything, I didn't take any of the medicines. By the way, I'm weaning off, not weaning. I stopped taking some of these medicines that have been prescribed to me. It was too much, so we'll see how that goes. Because
under a doctor's care?
No.
I'm just tapering off myself. I have a chart.
I was taking such little Prozac that it was taking 10 milligrams. I'm just like, this is enough. I'm sick of taking it. It's harder to have an orgasm with it. I just don't want to. I don't want to take it anymore. I'm sick of taking it.
A little more on that. I mean, the trying is the fun part, though, right?
The trying to have an orgasm?
Yeah. Tell me about that.
Well, I'm trying to have a kid. All right. Nick's got big news. Nick, go ahead.
Hey, so I was told by Bird, because I was with him this weekend, to call in and talk to you, Fred. I was at a party with him, and he's throwing cardboard and leaves into a fire with my 8-year-old son. And he just turned to me and said, "You got to call into the show this morning, Monday morning, and let them know that you with Bird and you were doing this. They're going to love it." And then when I did it, I told my son this. I told my son, I was like, "I'm going to call on the radio." He was like, "You're going to be on the radio with Bird?" So now he's like, Bird's a celebrity, and he's listening right now. So I figured I'd call in and let you guys know that I was with him. And
okay, so you're at a party, and there's like a bonfire, like a backyard fire or something.
Yeah, it's like a little family party, and we're all outside, and
Okay.
him and my son are just throwing leaves and cardboard into a fire.
Yeah, I'm
Loving
surprised he wasn't throwing like full cans that they could explode and go everywhere. So he was the one that was. It was. How old's your son?
8 years old.
Yeah, so him and an 8-year-old sound about right.
Sounds about right.
They were getting a lot of kicks out of throwing things into the fire. That's right. That sounds
Dude, look
about.
at a big fire. Look at that. Look at that. Throw some more leaves in there.
Yeah, let's throw some leaves in that.
Went.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome? Look, check it out.
Look at the leaves. They burn more. Go find some things around the house we could throw in here. Let's melt G.I. Joes.
Story rings true. Yeah.
Was your son left unattended with Bird at the fire for any amount of time?
Okay, I will say, probably for like 2 seconds while I turned the corner.
No, Bird's fine. Bird's not going to do anything.
Bird,
yeah.
he was great.
No, he just is very mature. I mean, if you can throw as many fires and cardboard into any amount of leaves and cardboard into a fire as you want, I don't know if that's going to do anything bad. It's just that he was getting great enjoyment out of it is what kind of the funny thing is. Yeah, that he was enjoying
he was
that.
like, you got to call in. Fred's going to love that. And I was like, all right.
Well, he's got
I'll do
a
it.
keen sense of what's very exciting, I'll tell you. But
All
right, thank you, Nick. I'm glad you got to enjoy Bird. I get you.
Was Mommy around or was Mommy at her house?
Hey. No, I mean, I would let Bird watch my kid. Well, my kids are too old to be watched, but when they were a little bit younger, I would have let Bird watch them. I wouldn't have let Adolfo watch them. I would have let Bird watch them. Bird's with his nephews and nieces all the time. Like, Bird's capable of watching a child. Bird's not dangerous. He's probably perfect for watching a child because he wants to do all the stuff they want to do.
Yeah, he's not going to ignore them. He's like, no, this is fun. Let's do this.
Yeah, plus, Legos are a challenge for him, and, a puzzle could be.
He's more of a Duplo guy.
I know. It's not Legos, the knockoff version of Legos.
Well, I'm not talking
softer.
about
I know, it's just softer and bigger.
Yeah, I'm talking about like a 30-piece set, like Bird, and the kid feels superior because he finishes it way before Bird.
Look, it's a pyramid. See, it all fits together.
And then the kid could read a book to Bird, and then sometimes you let kids do that because you want them to make them feel smart, but Bird would actually learn something.
It was endless hours of fun.
It's like when Charlie sat around when he had all the kids in the cartoon from Always Sunny, and then the wife read the stories, and they were all gathered around, like looking at each other. Yeah.
So when are you going to do the tooth?
Which appointment? Which were the 17 appointments?
Right, because you just can't go in.
So I went to the dentist. It was a cleaning, and then I had to go to the oral surgeon, and they had to give me the $700 X-ray, which was gratis, because they're about to charge me $14,000.
Yeah,
but it's that X-ray that goes around your head. It's like a MRI, and which was cool is like the technology's improved so much that it's like a pretty good representation of your skull, and I never realized how intricate the stuff in my face is. Like from when I got my face smashed in, it's a series of screws and rods. I used to think it was a metal plate because back when you get an X-ray or something, it just looks like a blob, and I just assumed it was like a metal plate. But now it's so sophisticated that I saw they must have been in there for a really long time because there's a series of rods and screws that are holding the right side of my socket and jaw together. Yeah. So I almost took a picture of it, but I didn't want to seem like a freak. But it looks like how you look when you die, like if your body decomposes. It's a really good representation of your skull. And I was telling people, I'm like, I didn't realize the amount of surgery they did there. I thought they just jammed a plate in and screwed it in. There was a lot of stuff going on there. So I saw that, but I'm going in on, because they can't do it Thanksgiving, so I'm going in on next week to get the tooth extracted, and then I am, and then I gotta let that heal. Then I'm sure they'll put bone in, and then they'll let that heal.
Yeah, you wait a couple of months or something.
Yeah,
right?
and then they'll put in the the
post.
the implant,
Yeah.
and then the dentist will poorly put on the crown.
So let's talk about that. The last time you went through this, how long did it take? How many different?
It's still loose. And then when I was in there when they discovered this tooth was broken, when I was in there, I'm like, yeah, this implant's loose. And she had such a hard time putting it in. She's like, no, it's not loose. And I'm like, well, it's loose. The hygienist says it's loose. It's loose. But she just doesn't want to deal with it anymore. She's like, oh, it's on there. It's on there.
When I went for my implant, they took the impression a couple of times, whatever, get it just right. The crown for the implant shows up. It doesn't fit. And they say, here's what's wrong with it. And I can't remember if I went back a second or a third time, but all I remember is in the dentist chair and them trying to get the impression. They did it 2 more times. And after the second time, they said, no, it's not quite right. And this is one of the few times in my life I've been like my own patient advocate. And I just said, no, we're not doing this anymore. Figure it out with what you have. This is like the 4th time now I've sat down for an impression of this thing. I'm not doing this anymore, or I'll just go somewhere else. I can't have all that goop in my mouth again. And then you're seemingly forgotten about. Well, they go off and do something else. I'm no, I'm all done. I'm all done. And remarkably, it worked. They figured it out. Instead of me sitting there for or going back for another appointment. I'm like, nope, no.
Well, when I saw it was, $14,000, I was a little flummoxed, and so I sat and I did talk with the the woman that was in charge of the billing. It wasn't the doctor, the woman in charge of the billing, because she gave me 2 sheets of paper with different figures on them, but I was to add them up, and I was going, wait a second, why is this so expensive? Because everything is so expensive. Everything is so expensive. And she's like, well, insurance, I don't know. There's a bunch of things that, I don't know. It's just, the limit's to $2,500. So that's what it is.
Just last night, Calvin said to me, he goes, hey, when your wisdom teeth come in, can you feel them poking through the gum? Oh, yeah. Why? Oh, because I feel something back there. I'm like, son of a bitch. And the dentist told us the last time he was in, it's probably time to have his wisdom teeth out. I'm like, he's not even 15 yet. Get out of here. What do you know? So now we got to do his.
Well, that's not so bad because they don't have to put an implant in.
They don't have to do anything, but still the bill shows up 6 months later and you think you've paid for it and you haven't. Not yet.
Yeah, it's not $12,000. It is kind of funny to see him high, though. That's fun.
It was fun for about a minute with my daughter, and then I got annoyed. And I think I told you she was having a meltdown, and she wouldn't stop talking about. I don't remember getting down here. What's happening? I said, I walked you down to the room. It's all done. But how did I get here? And she's hysterical. And the hygienist comes in, who is only a few years older than her. She was, a student in dental school. And my daughter looked at her. She goes, "What are you doing here? You're just a kid. I thought you were a dentist." So now she's starting to be a little, bitchy about it.
Yeah.
So when she left the second time, I looked at her. I said, "Hey, you got to knock off the crap, or they're not going to let you leave. You understand? You're going to have to stay here until you pull it together." And magically, she kind of pulled it together.
See, Mile was super funny.
Katie was not funny.
Yeah, Mile was super funny.
Yeah, we had Cade's done over the summer, same thing. Just
yeah, he was in a good mood. But that seems like Milo's not one for paranoia. Now my daughter, they'll have to drug my daughter on the way in.
That's going to be a whole thing.
Yeah, her mother and I, one time, and she's gotten a lot better, but when she was little, they were doing something very minor to her, and she freaked out so bad she threw up. She had to leave the room, and then she threw up in the hall because she was having such a hard time. Now she's much better about it now, but it's funny. We had this talk when we were talking about my tooth. Her mother was like, "We're going to have to drug Zoe on the way in because it's going to be such a big deal." Yeah, this is true. Ben, go ahead.
Freddie, baby.
Benjamin.
Good morning. Twitch Nation, YouTube, we all love you. You got to be careful, though, how much you're talking about the metal that's in your head and in your body. Adam 12 just back there behind the board plotting the moment you die. He is going to scrap that metal for big bucks.
Well, it's in my on the off chance he outlives me, it is based on his lack of nutrition. It is in my will that he will get all the precious metals, or even the ones that aren't so precious, from around my mouth.
Thank you.
Plus, he'll have free reign of the basement to scour.
Yeah, there you go.
And any piping that might be available for him.
Copper wiring.
Pull the Lenny Dykstra.
Absolutely.
Go to
There's
the
some
empty
titanium in that skull of his. Maybe
Yeah.
some platinum.
Yeah, I don't know what's in my face. I'd have to imagine
Probably
it's
stainless
titanium.
Steel. Stainless steel or titanium, probably.
No, I'd imagine it's titanium. In the face, I'd imagine it's titanium. Alf, I'm not taking your call today. It's enough. I don't know if this.
After the Lions and the Patriots won, you're going to deny him this?
He's taking time from work to call
I
in.
know.
You're not even going to talk to him?
No, because I don't know if this victory deserves so much of a phone call.
Oh.
How come the dude got a Lions hat on?
Yeah. All right, Alf. So you can sit there, and maybe I'll change my mind. Let's war of attrition, my friend. Let's see how long you can last. All right. We'll be back in just a moment.
insight and care.
98.5, the Sports Hub.
Did you catch a game last night?
Hey, what happened last night's brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened, so change your lettuce and change your life. With Dr. Matthew Lopresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. Hardy, what's going on?
Yesterday, the New England Patriots visited the Cincinnati Bengals, and Patriots trying to improve on their already amazingly impressive 9-2 record against the 3-7 Bengals. Pats open up the game with the ball, have to punt it away after 6 plays, and what would a Patriots game be if the opponent didn't somehow score on their opening drive?
He works in an empty set. 2 left, 3 right. 3rd down and 5. Shotgun snap is back from the 45. Pocket holds. He throws to the right. Open Gesicki. Makes the catch and steps out of bounds in front of 3 Patriots, including Marcus Jones. He's in Patriots territory.
That's Flacco to Gesicki. What happened to Joe Burrow? I thought Joe Burrow was going to play in this game. Well, it turns out he was ruled out ahead of time. They said it was a group decision, that they were just want to wait. Just want to wait. Like Michael Corleone with the $2 million that showed up to the island. Freddie had it sit next to him on the plane for that entire ride. Well, where's the money, Michael? I just want to wait. I just want to wait.
So he was out with turf toe.
Yep.
Said he was sore from working out, sore from practicing.
Sorry,
Burrow wanted to play.
I don't want to play.
Burrow wanted to play.
Of course he did.
They would have won that game if he played.
They would have won. I think you're
won.
right.
Yes,
I think
correct.
you're right.
Yep.
But instead, Flacco looked fine early, especially on that hooking up with Gesicki early. They would turn that into a field goal, so they're up 3-0. Patriots not doing much to help themselves on a play where everyone knew that the Bengals were not going to go for it on 4th down. We're just going to march out there. We're going to try and get you guys to jump offside. Everyone knows.
4th and 4.
They're not actually snapping the ball. I thought it was 5, but sure, 4th and 4.
Yeah.
All right, we're not snapping it. Just don't jump offside.
2 receivers, right, 2 left. They're man down. And now Brown joins Flacco with a change at the line. He points to his helmet with each hand. Brown motions out to the left. Early movement by Caleb Chason. Jumping across the line on the right side as soon as Brown went in motion away from Flacco. It's offsides, right? New England. No kidding.
It's about time Bob answered one of those.
Flacco, I think just with the hard count got him to jump.
I think you're right. I don't think it had anything to do. They were talking on the radio about being the motion man and how can you beat him. But no.
I don't think
so.
I think it had anything to do with the guy in motion. So, the Bengals getting the Patriots to jump offside there, and then in the second quarter,
England sends Ben Brown out to the right. It's a heavy bunch formation to the right with May to take the snap. He lobs it over the middle. Picked off. He overthrew the tight end. Stone has it. Running back right 15 to the 10. Stone to the 5. Stone to the end zone. Pick 6 Cincinnati.
What was that?
Zolak stunned into silence.
That was a throwback to last year. At the beginning of the game, May looked horrible. I mean, that throw is 5 feet over Hunter Henry's head?
Yeah,
it was a terrible throw.
He sometimes has weird beginnings to games where he's completely off. It is odd. I mean, he usually makes up for it, but he even this year has had tough beginnings to games.
He looked panicked. He looked like a rookie that was playing in his first game. And
he's up against that defense.
I know, the worst defense on the planet. He looked like things were going a million miles an hour for him. It was very strange.
He probably hasn't slept in a week knowing he had to face
That's
that
right.
Bengals defense.
A very healthy defense, too. Very healthy team that they were up against.
So he sails it over the tight end's head, but Drake May would not make that mistake later on in the quarter.
Touchdown here gets a fan. Henderson single setback. Hollins to the left. Pop Douglas motions right to left. Fake to him. May is back to pass pressure. Moves up off balance. Throw wide open left side. Hunter Henry all alone to waltz into the end zone and leap with a spike. Touchdown Patriots.
Hunter Henry and Drake May hooking up that
Hunter Henry was
in the
open.
second quarter to make it 10-7. To say he was open doesn't really do it justice.
Wide open.
All right, 10-7. Got some life. what else could really spark this team here in the second quarter?
Now the Bengals in a 2-by-2 set. Second down and 5. Flacco's under center. The veteran quarterback with a play fake and a deep drop. Out of time. Double clutch. He throws it. Picked off. Goodbye. Running left side. 15-10. Turning around. Back.
Now, John, you might believe that. Remember this. That's a pick six that you all remember on it. Like basically a dump down. It was essentially a screen pass.
I was going to say Marcus Jones also wide open.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
he was waiting for Flacco to throw it.
I mean, if you watched the game, I mean, you saw that he was going to intercept that ball and he was going to get a pick six. I've told you I've seen Flacco do that on numerous occasions.
I remember this. Flacco, and you're the first. Actually, you're the first person I thought of because Flacco, after double clutching and then lobbing the ball out in the flat where Jones had all day to run under it and catch it and return for a touchdown. Jones is running up the sideline. Usually is an instinct for a quarterback. If you throw an interception, you at least make a motion towards the guy. You jog a couple of steps like, oh, I can't catch him. Flacco threw the interception, did not move, just kind of stood in place and watched him run into the end zone.
What I'm talking more about is that I've seen him just on a screen pass, just, take his time, stare the receiver down. Well, this time he barely looked, and that's why he didn't see. I don't know what he thought was going on over there, but I've seen him throw pick sixes on little dump-offs and screen passes on a few occasions. Like, he just has some mental block where he does that. I wouldn't have thrown that ball. Like, even I wouldn't have thrown that ball. Like, he just assumed the dump down was there, and he didn't even see that a cornerback was there. It wasn't a defensive lineman back in coverage. It was a corner that was right there. And he didn't put anything on the ball. Like, Marcus Jones just walked right into it. So I saw, I'm no film expert, but I saw that right away.
Yeah.
Said, that's a pick six. Before that ball left his hand, I'm like, that's a pick six.
Well,
so good on Flacco.
And then good for Marcus Jones for putting 6 more on the board, because if you're waiting for more touchdowns from the Patriots in this game or just more touchdowns in general, there would be few to be had. One more scored in the second half by the Bengals. That was it. It was a field goal fest for the Patriots after that. Not that they didn't have their chances.
Now the Patriots have Hollins in the backfield to the right of May. Stevenson is in the left slot as a receiver. Diggs to the right. May drops back looking to throw. He throws it toward the left side. It's incomplete. There is a flag, however, coming out of the break. Kayshon Boutte might have been grabbed by the defensive back for Cincinnati, Dax Hill.
And then they would get down toward the goal line and have so many chances. So many chances.
Okay. They had 4 incomplete ball in the end zone, pass interference. They get the ball back. Offensive pass interference takes them back to the 11. Shovel pass to Henry. They get them back to the 1. The Patriots had 8 consecutive goal-to-go plays, I believe 6 of which came from the 1-yard line, and they turned the ball over on downs. Well, actually, they did it twice. Penalty saved them, but they turned the ball over on downs twice at the 1.
Against the Cincinnati defense.
Worst
that's the worst
defense in the league.
football.
You know something?
Yes.
They're all packed in there. I don't even think that's fair. You should make guys spread out to the back corners of the end zone. Why should the defense get to bunch up right at the goal line like that? They want to run Ramondre Stevenson right into the middle, right between the guards, and that always works, right?
They tried
the goal line. It is a 4th and goal to go from the 1. May out of the gun. Stevenson to his right. 2 receivers left. Diggs inside of Boutte. 2 right. Hollins inside of Henry. Hunter with a short motion for the pass. The snap to May. A give to Stevenson. Hit in the backfield. Read perfectly by the Bengals. They collaborated. Collapse on the ball.
I don't know if you're being sarcastic about running up the middle. I mean, you got to be able to get a yard.
They tried
you run up the middle. You got to be able to get a yard.
They tried passes. They tried runs. They tried everything. And they did it again later in the game. They were forced to kick a field goal. They had 11 goal-to-go plays and came away with no points.
Yeah, I'm of the mind if you know you're going to go for a touchdown, if you know you're going to go for a yard, like you're going to go 4 times, and say you're even on the 2, you got to be able to get 2 yards in 4 plays.
But Fred, it was
just hand it up off the middle, like get 3/4 of a yard a run.
You would think, but the second he handed it off,
no. I know that what happened, and I know how they can blow plays up. But if you're a good team, and Hardy and I talked last night. I know what. Just go ahead with the responses. I know they're coming. I've done this for 20 years. I'm over it. You're not going to win. If you can't pick up a yard on the goal line, you're not going to win.
They tried the tush push. That didn't work. They tried runs up the middle. That didn't work. They tried play action, bootlegs out to the right. That didn't work.
I've kissed this team's ass all year.
Man.
That you can't. You got to be able to pick up a yard on the goal line. Like you can't. That's going to happen again.
I don't know how you feel confident
against a team that's not the worst defense in football.
You're going to play Buffalo,
and you can all get pissed off about it and about how Fred, you're a jackass. I know you're doing it. It's already done. Hardy and I talked about it last night. We had to talk about something else, air supply. Don't worry about it. But I told him, I'm like, not only I know what I'm going to say. I watched the game. I know what I'm going to say. And I told Hardy exactly what the response will be. So, I mean, that's what it's going to be. What do you mean they can't? Well, yeah, if you can't score in the goal line and you can't pick up yards like that, and I don't know if missing your left tackle is going to help a lot with this.
Well, you're missing two guys now.
I don't know how long the guard's out for, but I can tell you that
you saw the absence of both of them come into effect on that goal, on all those goal line plays.
I think Campbell was injured.
Campbell was injured after that. He was in for that first goal line situation.
Yeah, all right. But I would put it back on everyone else, Fred, and I would say, tell me how you feel confident about this team making a deep run if there's no way you have confidence in them being able to punch the ball in from the goal line. Because right now I don't. I don't look at that team down there, 3rd and goal from the 1 and say, oh, they'll score here. I don't feel that.
You're going to play Buffalo. You're going to play Baltimore. You're going to have a playoff game where it's 5 degrees below zero, and passing isn't necessarily the thing. You have to be able to gain a yard, and that was. I mean,
how about you play Houston?
11 plays, goal to go, 7 or 8 of them from the 1 yard line, and you couldn't score. I would defy anyone to find the last time that happened.
They were backed up on one of them, John. They weren't all from the 1. They got backed up that one.
My bad.
There were only 2 plays from the 1.
That Campbell injury, I guess we'll talk about that and how the game was ultimately won. I would say ultimately a pretty lucky day for the Pats.
Well, I'd say it's very lucky. The end of the game was very lucky, too.
Yes. But we'll talk about the Campbell injury and the luck at the end of the game.
I just want everyone to know, I talked to Hardy about this. That last play was pass interference. That was pass interference on Gesicki. I mean, they should have awarded a first down on that. Gesicki got maybe not the Carlton Davis play. That might have just been a good play, but the play after that, and you can all get mad because you don't want to hear it. The Carlton Davis might have been a really good play.
First thing I looked at it in real time. I thought that's not pass interference. The second one, as a Patriots fan sitting here,
the Carlton Davis one is PI.
And the thing is, John, is that we talked about this. I'm not positive about that, and I'll let that go. The Gesicki thing, and I don't care if you're a Patriot fan. Like, a penalty is a penalty.
No, but I'm not. What I'm saying is,
not you. The Patriots fans in the audience. Like, I know this upsets you, but Gesicki, that was pass interference on him. He knew it. It might have been 2 guys committed pass interference on him in that play. He was mugged before the ball got there. Watch it. And if you watch it, and just because you like the team that benefited from it, doesn't mean it didn't happen. That happened. The Patriots did not look good yesterday. And they were playing a team that was not only bad, but decimated. Completely decimated. And Flacco was hurt. Like, everything was bad. And they won, and that's great. But I saw a lot of that Giants team last night. I'm not positive they win on
Monday.
My bad. You get that extra day.
Yep.
All right. Winston was chucking it around like nobody's business. All right. We'll be back in just a moment.
Essential Sports Hub headline. the Sports Hub.
Pop Douglas motions wide to left, fake to him. Moves up off balance, throw wide open outside. Hunter Henry all alone. Touchdown Patriots! Flacco's under center, deep drop, out of time, double clutch. He throws it, picked off, good ball. It's Marcus Jones, another pick six.
That is just easy pickings for him.
Brown moves up in front of Flacco, leans forward, takes a head-high step. A blitz coming. Flacco stands in, throws the ball toward the middle, ball's batted in the air, incomplete. Knocked away by Marcus Jones. Patriots to their ninth straight win, and their 10th overall. They're going to hold on in Cincinnati.
All right, we're Toucher and Hardy, and you have now been taken through the beginning of the third quarter when the Patriots were shut down on a couple chances from the one, 4 chances from the one, 5 chances from the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 chances from the one. Okay. Yeah, it was, John, because it's
I'm not saying it's not.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, because it was 3rd and 1 from the Cincinnati one, 4th and 1. Then they had another 1st and 1 from the Cincinnati one, 2nd one from the Cincinnati one, 2nd and 11, then 3rd and 1, then 4th and 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So they were. So where are we now, Hardy?
Well, we're the Patriots with the lead after overcoming the 10-0 deficit, but then the injuries start to pile up.
And there's an injured player over on the far side of the field. In fact, there are a couple of players who are slow and rising. One for Cincinnati, the other for New England is still on the turf.
Is it a Wenu? No, it's not a Wenu.
And that appears to be
Is it Brian?
No.
Will Campbell, I believe, is the player being attended to.
Look at the knee. Oh, no.
But we're going to take the timeout with 4:48 to go here in the third quarter.
Campbell.
Will Campbell going down with an apparent knee injury. Now,
obviously, a great view for them if they thought it was a Wenu.
It's the yeah, I know.
You don't think if you were closer at a better vantage point, you would confuse those two?
One's very white and one's very black.
Yeah. Yeah.
The online doctors have told us everything we need to know.
So we might as well not discuss it.
John and I, this infuriates both of us. It drives me insane.
Friggin' irresponsible is what it is.
Well, it's gotten to the point now where it's ridiculous. Okay.
People are quoting tweets from guys who have no idea. Writers who write in Boston are saying, "Oh, thank God." Because one online guy thinks it's a sprain.
Okay.
Oh, thank goodness.
Okay, I can tell you why it's not a sprain. Is that, and I don't know what ligament it is, because if you've played sports, if you know someone who's had a knee injury in sports, what they immediately do, and the reason they take you off in a cart, is because they feel your knee is no longer, they can feel the ligament is broken. They can feel it. Your knee moves around. If you straighten your knee right now and bend your knee's not going to move. When you have a snapped tendon, the knee moves. That's why Will Campbell, it wasn't pain. It wasn't any of that. It was disappointment. That's why they didn't let him walk to the locker room.
You look at the video. The man had to put a towel over his head because he was openly weeping while being carted off the field. That should tell you something.
So it was bad enough when the doctor, because John sends these out because he knows they piss me off, but which I appreciate. And the doctor's like, it's an MCL. And now, is it an MCL? It could be, but there's no way you know from the way he fell what tendon broke. Like, if an orthopedic doctor, an orthopedic surgeon will come on the air, which I know you won't, because I know you don't agree, that you can tell by the way a guy fell what particular, without touching them, you're not going to know anything. But without what particular tendon ruptured is ludicrous. You just don't know. It could be all of them. It could be an MCL, which is better than an ACL, obviously, or it could be all of them. You don't know. He could have shredded his knee or just an MCL. But when they get you into that room, they move your knee around, and then they give you an X-ray, but that's not going to show you anything. and I'm sure he's had an MRI by now. I don't think they wait around to do it. Maybe they wait for swelling to go down, and they'll do it today. But I think the swelling will be worse today.
All I know
Regardless, you just don't know.
What do your eyes tell you? Your eyes tell you that it got rolled up on from the side, and the knee caved in. His right knee caved in from the side. And they took him in the blue tent. They put him on that cart.
They put a towel over his head.
Put a towel over his head. What do your eyes tell you? Your eyes tell you that he's not going to be back in 2 to 4 weeks.
It's like, what do you think they're doing in that blue tent? Like, how do you think that some guys get out of there and some guys don't? Based on pain? No. They feel the knee and feel it move around. It drives me crazy. How many of you guys played sports?
It's a combination of physiology and emotion. And maybe just emotionally he wasn't ready to go back in the game.
And they didn't put him on a car because
he was too scared to go back in.
So it was like that Mac Jones, when everyone got mad at him for being hurt.
Right. Left side of the line decimated. Jared Wilson, the left guard, he was seen with a crutch and a boot, according to Doug Kyde.
Yeah, that's not great.
By the way, the Wilson injury was weird because everyone had different angles of it, and no one could tell what happened to him. That would scare me because, to me, that means non-contact. That's the thing. If that's a non-contact injury and he's hopping around, that's real serious, too.
Well, if it's we can speculate a ton.
Right,
I mean,
and that's all this is.
But, is it Achilles, high ankle sprain? Who knows?
Once again, either one is not good
No, they're both
on the
bad.
verge of December. So that's the problem.
Well, that's the thing is that, like, I can't imagine. Well, I certainly can't imagine Campbell's coming back. I hope it's not an ACL because he seems like a good player, and an ACL really sets you back.
Yeah.
But, I can't imagine if he ruptured a tendon in his knee that he's coming back this season. That just doesn't seem smart,
especially at this time of year. And
there's
the Patriots have
not
been
a lot of time.
So lucky.
There is a bye week, though.
So lucky all year, and now they're getting injuries where other teams have had injuries. I mean,
left tackle's a pretty bad one.
No, it is a bad one, but I guess what I'm saying is, just about every other NFL team had to deal with a serious injury.
But
Patriots did not until last week.
Well, they had Booty out, who's their a big receiver for them. They had injuries, but just losing your left tackle and Milton Williams.
And by the way, losing Milton Williams, you saw what losing Milton Williams did to you yesterday.
Well, it's done it the last 2 games.
Yeah.
I mean, teams have been able to effectively run on you for 2 weeks now straight, and I don't think that's going to stop. So. You're very vulnerable right now.
You lost Milton Williams, his backup. I mean, Tonga left in the first half and didn't come back.
Wilson left the game. So that's all bad luck. But luck is a balancing act. And what if you get a little good luck at the end of the game?
Flacco takes the snap. 4-man rush. Plenty of time. Throw down the middle. Ball is going to be incomplete. Sailing between Davis and Hawkins, 2 closing defenders. On a throw intended for Tinsley. Fans looking for a call.
I'd be looking for a call, too, if this is at home. But
Carlton Davis.
I mean, he plays right through him, Bob.
All right, so I was on the fence about that one. Did they play do you have the highlight anyway for the last one?
I don't have it here. We can grab it.
Because the Gesicki one was the one where that was interference. There's no doubt about it. I mean, they were obstructing his path to the football. And the ball was there.
Let's see. I think I might have it here. Let's see.
All right.
12, you got to pop me up?
No.
Hudson in the right slot inside of Yosivas. Brown moves up in front of Flacco. The quarterback leans forward, takes a head-high snap. A blitz coming. Flacco stands in, throws the ball toward the middle. Ball's batted in the air, incomplete. Knocked away by Marcus Jones. He had the pick 6 early for the Patriots. And there's the denial to lift the Patriots to their 9th straight win and their 10th overall. It comes at a cost, but nonetheless...
No. We don't have the. I can't believe there was no call there.
Well, I guess they're just happy the win was. It was for the win. Can't fault them on that, but that was pass interference. Don't call it at the end of the game. Oh no, you call it at the end of the game. I mean, if they're that close, and look, it wasn't an 80-yard bomb where there was hand fighting. I mean, it was a 4th down play where you went out, you took a chance, you all out blitzed. Flacco got rid of the ball. Now there was he had people in his face, couldn't follow through, but the ball was in the vicinity of Gesicki, and Gesicki was held back on that, and you got lucky. Would they have scored a touchdown after that? Yes. So I don't really know.
You don't know that they would score a touchdown. Yeah, you do. Yeah.
There was 18 seconds left, and they would have had the ball inside the 15.
Yeah. I have a feeling there was a pretty good chance they score. But whatever.
Patriots win 26-20, improve to 10-2 on the season.
Which is great. I'm not positive that a lot of Patriot fans are going, huzzah, here comes the Super Bowl. It seems like that was a bit of it's water finding its level. You played against a quarterback that didn't play particularly well. You played against a team that at the end of the game when they had a chance to win was missing their really only good offensive player. They ran for over 100 yards. One player ran for over 100 yards against you.
Yep.
You lost your left tackle and left guard, but especially your left tackle. You are you're completely vulnerable against the run now, which you weren't. You are now very vulnerable against a good pass rush on Monday. Sorry, John. On Monday. It's in a team that seems to be trying. I don't know.
Yeah,
I was all about this, and now I don't know how all about it I am anymore.
I think you're right about most of that. Look, based on what happened the last 2 years, a win is a win. I'm happy they won. They're 10-2, and that's good. But what happened yesterday takes some things off the table for you. In the future. The expectations after yesterday have to be different.
I would agree. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Lots going on in the world of North Carolina.
National Football League, but they put together a costly victory yesterday in Cincinnati, 26-20 over the Bengals. Drake May had a career-high 294 yards passing and a touchdown. Andy Borregales added 4 field goals, but the defense had to sweat out a final drive by Joe Flacco that stalled at the Patriots' 26-yard line with under 20 seconds left, and the offense lost their starting left tackle and left guard. Will Campbell was carted off with a knee injury. Jared Wilson carted off with a bad ankle. They have won 9 straight games, though. They're 10-2. They host the New York Giants a week from tonight. The Giants are 2-10. They came up short in Detroit yesterday, 34-27 in overtime. Raiders quarterback Geno Smith was sacked 10 times by Cleveland in a 24-10 loss to Shedeur Sanders and the Browns. And then the Raiders fired offensive coordinator Chip Kelly after the game was over. Celtics got 35 points of Jaylen Brown. They beat Orlando last night, 138-129 at TD Garden. Brown's team had the lead as high as 26 in the third quarter, but they were only up 6 in the final minute before hanging on.
Being in that position enough times, I've known that if you kind of change your mentality or you let your foot off the gas, that a team could come right back. You know, I think we have a bunch of guys who are in that position for the first time and kind of learning that. Just because you're up 20 points going into the fourth quarter does not mean the game is over.
They're 9-8. They host Detroit on Wednesday night. And the Bruins lost out in San Jose last night, 3-1 to fall to 1-2 on the road trip. Morgan Geekie, another goal. He has an NHL high 17 of them for the season. This road trip ends against the New York Islanders on Wednesday evening. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the $14.99 Big Deal Meals at the 99, like the roasted turkey dinner, available every Monday through Wednesday for just $14.99. You gotta love the nines. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Takes the snap, rolling to his right. He's being chased by Judon. Drake May on the run for the 5. Gets away.
Drake May knows it.
Boston, he's the best sports city in the world.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
And we're back. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
We'll go in chronological order. The news story came out that Bill Belichick's daughter-in-law exploded on Jordan Hudson in an unhinged 40-minute post-game rant. And now I can tell you, if I haven't already on the air, what I've told these guys off the air. Jen Belichick, I am aware, Belichick does not like Jordan Hudson. I've known that now for well over a year. I have shared to you, I cannot say why I know. I don't know her. But I do know that she has no good feelings. I've seen this for myself. No good feelings towards Jordan Hudson. So this was not a surprise to me, but it is lovely. I'll just read the article. Bill Belichick's daughter-in-law unleashed a nearly hour-long profanity-laced tirade on Jordan Hudson following the University of North Carolina football game earlier this month. By the way, they lost. They lost to Duke in a game that is a in-state rivalry. That's
fake field goal, Fred. You see that?
Yeah, to set up the winning score.
Yeah, I saw a lot. I saw how poorly coached that team is and that they can't control themselves and they get a bunch of personal fouls. Jen Belichick, occurred November 8th. Bill was there. He was just feet away. The incident went down inside the 73-year-old's office. It was at his office in Chapel Hill. Right after they beat Stanford, 20-15, very impressive victory. Jen was furious with Hudson, and Jen screamed, "Jordan! All Jordan does is control S." Before she called Bill's significant other Bat S crazy. At one point, sources said Jen told the room, which included Jen's husband, UNC defensive coordinator Steve Belichick, Bill Hudson, and multiple others, that she didn't care if her eruption resulted in Steve's termination or Bill disowning her. Jen yelled that Jordan was effing twisting Bill's brain before she urged the 6-time Super Bowl champion to wake up. Sources says she went on to issue an ultimatum to Bill. You can choose the family or you can choose Hudson. During Jen's rant, sources said she also chided Hudson for her propensity to wear snakeskin prints at games, and once muttered, "You also need to eat a burger," which is true. She did not look healthy or particularly good in that cheerleading competition. We all agree. At times, she directed her anger towards Bill and Steve, saying to her husband, "If he wants to fire you, fire you. He wants to effing disown me. I don't effing care." In total, sources said the blow-up lasted roughly 40 minutes. The massive blowout happened shortly after Jen was photographed appearing to give a frosty reception to Hudson during the Tar Heels matchup with the Cardinal. It also inspired several months after Jen took a swipe at Hudson for a role in the now infamous CBS interview, and they reached out to all the people involved, and no one responded. And here is what the bed that you lay out for yourself. Now, if you have grandkids and kids and marriages and things of that nature, and you're worth a lot of money, and you disrupt things when you date someone that's 50 years younger than you. Now, there's no question that happens. But while they'll, shrug their shoulders in front of you, but then talk ass around your back, what happens is when you give them control of finances and your life, and that's when people are going to go, like someone's got to say something. And I have seen this with my own eyes, but I've also heard that, and you have to imagine that this has been percolating, behind the scenes. Like, all their money is getting sent to this 24-year-old girl. She is ruining the reputation of their father. I mean, he's completely ruining his reputation. He's given her control of all his business interests, and it's just been an unmitigated failure, almost unprecedented, because there's no scandal. Bill didn't do anything, like he's not insider trading, and he didn't run over a kid. It's just she can't handle press for a dumb book that's about coaching. Yeah. Like she couldn't even handle that.
And if you're Jen Belichick or anyone else in the family, you could probably live with the embarrassment. You could live with having someone brought around to family gatherings that you don't like, don't have anything in common with.
She wasn't willing to 2 summers ago.
And don't respect, right? You could probably even deal with the idea that, they're off spending a bunch of money that, should be, going toward the family or the grandchildren or something. But when it becomes obvious that she's using him and taking him for a ride and manipulating him, and that's when you start to think, this person may not just be like the one half of a weird relationship, but she's actually using Bill in a bad or maybe even illegal way, to the point where, okay, now I got to step in. Now I got to step in, because this has gone from just uncomfortable to wrong. Like, I just know that morally, ethically, everything about this is wrong.
Right.
And that's when you're compelled to step in.
It also speaks volumes of how dumb Bill is, because Bill's just got it, like, as the patriarch of the family, he's for 40 minutes just has to sit there and take getting reamed out for that long. And the idea that it would cost his son his job, where there's been all this nepotism as it is, that now it's going to cost him his job, because obviously she's not doing this in a vacuum. This family is talking about this all the time, and she's the only one with the balls to say it. And she's been saying it, again, from my understanding, which I could dig up the sources if need be. If she wants to pull a Torre on me, I could find the materials I'm speaking of. Mm-hmm. This has been a pretty, to my understanding, very well understanding, she was not welcome at family functions. Let's say, what was it now? 16 months ago, she wasn't really welcome at family functions. And this isn't Linda Holiday stuff. This is like family stuff.
No, it's odd we're talking about this with Thanksgiving coming up. You think Steve goes to visit his dad on Thursday?
No, I think it's incredibly uncomfortable. I bet you Steve wishes that he kept that job if he could have, if he kept
Washington.
that job at Washington. I bet you anything he wishes he kept it. Like, he's not getting the North Carolina job.
Far away.
Yeah. He's like
across
all
the
of
country,
this. But, I mean, seriously, look, he has the right as an adult to give his money to this lady. It would destroy a family. I mean, that kind of stuff destroys a family when she's making with another guy these big real estate deals with his money. That destroys families. But there is that gray area of morality of like what you just love him for his money, when she's ruining the family's reputation, and I would assume she's not overly great to them and they're not overly great to her, that's a real problem. And that's when, as an adult man with kids and grandkids, you have to factor all this stuff in. Like, certainly, I really like this woman, but is it worth? Because they're not being petty. Is it worth having her ruin everything? Ruin my relationship with my family, ruin my reputation, ruin my career, ruin any chance of me doing anything outside of football when this is all done. Ruining everything for me, and they all see it happening, and he just digs his heels in, as he always has. And then this leads to I cannot imagine she intends on doing this, and we can go over how dumb it is. Jordan, and a lot of you have sent me this. Thank you so much. She only has 114,000 followers, and she's got to have, I would assume, many of them. It shows a 2025 all-access pass to North Carolina, which she's very proud of having, because she has an all-access pass. And if you recall, Pablo Torre had said that she had been banned from North Carolina facilities. She says, P.S. I'm suing you, and then she adds Pablo Torre's whatever account. And Pablo Torre responded, great, hope to have you on as a guest. I can't imagine first of all, Bill's got to love this, because let's really get it going again. And bring up everything. If she thinks that she's suing him, and she's going to sue him for defamation, I would assume, because he said that she wasn't allowed at the facility. In civil trials what they have?
Discovery?
Yes. And do you know just how incredible? And if she thinks she's going to sue Meadowlark Media and they're not going to defend him, no, they're going to defend him.
Yeah.
They're at least an LLC.
Let's really turn over some rocks here and find out what's going on.
Yeah, this isn't a rinky-dink individual. I mean, they can afford to, and it's in their best interest for numerous reasons. Press. Yeah. Let's just get discovery. And in civil trials, it's happening with Karen Reed's trial right now with civil discovery. You get everything. Mm-hmm. You can, believe me, I know. You can get access to everything. Text records, email records, everything. Phone logs, everything. Business things, everything. They can ask for everything and get it. And what do you think Pablo's going to sit on? It's all public record. Mm-hmm. Once that gets into court, it's all public record. So unless you have nothing to hide, I mean, it's an unmitigated disaster. If she's not going to do it, there's no way that anyone's going to let her do it. But first of all, what is she, drunk? Now she's going after the guy. She's incentivizing him to go after her more.
I wonder, because the same photo got posted on her Instagram, and the first time she posted it, and this is from the same day, she captioned it with, I've loved supporting Bill Belichick at his adult all-male football league competitions this season.
Right.
So that was kind of a callback to him being there at the cheerleading thing. Yeah. But then she posts the same photo with P.S. at Pablo Torre, I'm suing you. So I can't imagine if she actually is, she would post that.
Charlotte Wilder.
You never know.
Had conversations with Jordan Hudson, long conversations, had Friday nights, late into the night, where she can't say for sure, but sounds like a time someone might be drinking and, looking at themselves on the internet and, feeling bad and making calls. I mean, all good PR people will tell you to get drunk, and I could tell you too, get drunk and just hop on social media.
Yes.
Nothing bad could
go
happen.
online.
Yeah.
And when the one guy that's been the most effective of exposing things about you, really start poking him and give him access to everything. That would be the ingenious thing. Give the guy who's got a big career bump out of, treating this like a news story and, going over all the stuff, and just give him access to everything. Let him comb through anything he wants to get his hands on. That's such an idiotic thing. and Belichick, why? Why do you want to be with her anymore? Like, what? You are already got to go to adult co-ed cheerleading competitions, which a friend of mine I was talking to this with, and they were like, "Oh no, don't say that. It's for losers." Like, we're gonna all pretend now that's like not for complete losers.
They're in love. How can you love somebody who participates in adult male cheerleading or adult co-ed cheerleading?
Love is blind.
It is a loser competition, and not for even the boredom, but just for being with such a loser. No wonder she's with a 73-year-old man. How many guys with something going on in their 20s are going to put up with this for this third place in the main beauty pageant lady? Again, this is not Marilyn Monroe here. It's not, seducing the greatest baseball players and playwrights and actors of all time and presidents. This is not, people go, JFK banged Marilyn Monroe. Henry Miller, sat and had to go to stuff with Marilyn Monroe. Yeah, I understand. But you go to the Henry Miller's right? Arthur Miller, my bad. Arthur Miller, I knew I had a mistake there. Arthur Miller, Tropic of Capricorn, you can't keep that out of the library. They'll come after you. But the thing is that that's but the Jordan Hudson,
right? That's what you're going to throw it all away for.
And what's I just have a feeling Bill just takes it. Like, he takes it from his daughter-in-law, and then he takes it from Jordan. So Bill would get a whole list of things that were said about him in the media put on his desk every day. That's a fact that happened. Every day he was with the Patriots. For someone who didn't care about the media so much, he wanted to know everything the media was saying about him. He would get a rundown of everything.
Get a dossier.
A dossier.
Better way to
a dossier is what the word I was trying to think of.
A packet of material on his desk every morning.
Of what the media was saying about him. And so he does care. And so she just keeps doing these terrible PR things, and she's the head of your PR.
And what's funny about this too is, as if there were any glimmer of hope that Bill would be able to get an NFL job again, say with the Giants, the New York Post has made a cottage industry of publishing and writing stories about Jordan Hudson and Bill Belichick. So now if you're the Giants, you're like, even if we were to consider this, which we're not, we can't, because it's going to be horrific PR for us every single day, because the Post is already embedded in this story, and they're going to go absolutely over the top with it now.
Well, I don't think the Giants are going to hire Lane Kiffin. I guess they really want the ex-coach of the Cowboys or the Eagles, the guy who won the Super Bowl, McCarthy. I guess that's who they want. But it's Lane Kiffin might not get that job. The Giants might not take Lane Kiffin. Why would you take a guy that's in the ACC and is not making a bowl?
Right.
Well, you didn't have the players. Well, he brought in players, and they made a bowl last year. This is the first time since, 2018 they haven't made a bowl?
70 of their own guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, they brought in 70 guys. Well, we couldn't get them together as a team. Now, the team is playing better than it did at the beginning of the season, but they're still not winning games. And by the way, one of their wins was against Syracuse that was down something like 70 points in the first half on Saturday. So
Notre Dame, yeah.
Yeah, Notre Dame, who is a fringe playoff team, just ran all over them. So no, Bill's not getting a NFL job, and he's not going to get a media job. Maybe he can work at Visson with Lombardi. But she can't be any dumber, and he can't be any dumber, and more of a doormat. Just a doormat.
Shocking is what this is. It's shocking that it's come to this. Considering where he was 5 years ago as to where he is now.
But John,
stunning.
Now we know he's just a dummy. He was a very good football coach for a period of time, and he's just a dummy. He's just stupid and kind of a pussy. He just sits there and lets people lecture him for 40 minutes. And and then lets this woman do whatever she wants without ever apparently getting anything, his muse. Oh, my God. I'm going to sue Pablo Torre. You know that discussion after that happens? What the hell are you doing? What are you doing? How is this going to work for you? But you know what that dumbass is probably doing? Yeah, sue him. Yeah. Sue him. Oh, ask Mike about it. Sue him. Oh, good. Sue him. Sue him. Now it's a story. Now everyone's going to go out and listen to the podcast if they haven't already listened to it. Now Pablo's going to do it. This is like such a gift to him. What do you think is scaring him? What do you think, you're going to take all his money? What do you think, that Meadowlark Media is so small that they're not an LLC and they can't, or a corporation, and they can't afford to go through this process? You just handed them the best Christmas present of all time.
You're doing his job for him now.
Oh my God. Yeah, and now he can ask for whatever he wants if you do go through with it. But there's no way. But I don't think every lawyer is going to be like, do not do this. But if you want to, then Pablo Torre, you've just given him, I don't know, 30 years of shows, because he can go sift through every email and it's all public record. All right, we'll be back with Mike Reiss.
Toucher and Hardy will be right back on the Sports Hub.
Week 12 encounter of the 9-2 New England Patriots and the 3-7 Cincinnati Bengals.
Be a lady tonight.
Flacco's deep drop. On time. Double clutch. He throws it. Picked off. Goodbye. Another pick six against Cincinnati.
A late, lazy throw by Flacco to the right flat.
Jones crossed the 10, 15, 20. Accelerates 25, 30. He's got an angle to the right. Down the middle of the field to the 45 of New England. He stumbles across the 35. It spills inside the 30 at the 27. And there is a flag that's way back at the 30-yard line to our right.
Turn the return. Holding. Receiving team number 43. A 10-yard penalty. Wow. First down, Cincinnati.
May drops back looking to throw. He throws it toward the left side. It's incomplete. There is a flag, however, coming out of the break.
Pass interference. Defense number 23.
You got bailed out here, I think.
Luck be a lady.
Flacco takes the snap. Plenty of time. Throw down the middle. Ball is going to be incomplete. Sailing between Davis and Hawkins, two closing defenders. On the throw intended for Tinsley. Fans looking for a call.
I'd be looking for a call, too.
We are Toucher and Hardy. Listen at the end of this segment for a chance to win a pair of tickets to see the Pats take on the Giants Monday night at Gillette Stadium. Mike Reiss is ESPN's NFL Nation reporter covering the Patriots. Hi, Mike.
Good morning, Fred. Good morning, Hardy. Hey, John. How's everyone doing?
Good, and you're about to be doing pretty good because based on one of your appearances on this show, I'm not going to say which one, we had someone very special reach out to us. And look forward to a guest one of these next times that you're on that specifically wants to talk. They asked us. They reached out of nowhere to talk.
I am intrigued.
It's a very positive thing for you. It's not a setup. We just want to surprise you. It's.
I love it.
Yes, it's a very positive thing. It's one of these strange things that you're into. Musically, but I
wouldn't even give him that much. I was going to say, think about the snacks that you like, and some of the people who've come up with some of those things you enjoy before the game. What if the snack makers wanted to talk with you, Mike? Would that excite you?
That would be great. Are we doing this in person? Are we virtual? How is this going to work? Details TBD.
I can't imagine they'd be in person, but they are going to be. Like, you'll be talking to them live.
Incredible.
Yeah.
All right, I look forward to it. That's great.
Yes, it's someone you're a fan of. I won't say who, but they've reached out to us. Very surprisingly. Apparently, they don't do this very often, according to their management. They reached out to Hardy and I, and they were like, they never do this. But they heard about something or other, and they want to talk. And we said, well, Reiss is the reason for this. Reiss has got to be on the call. So you're going to have to be a little flexible with us. You might have to come on at an odd time.
I will, whatever you tell me to do, I will be there.
Yes.
I love that this has resulted in something like this. So that's super fun.
Well, this is the bullhorn of which you speak to the musical world. So just know. And I'm not lying. It's someone you very much enjoy.
And you won't. Don't worry about being ill prepared or anything like that. You'll be fine. You'll be fine going in cold.
You'll know. This is in no way a trick on you. This is a management team from someone you're a big fan of and has expressed such on the show. Heard about it, reached out to us, and wants to get in contact and wants to come on the show. Partially because we were, make fun of everyone that you like, and I think that's part of it. All right, let's get to the Patriots now that the good news is out of the way. What did you make of Drake May's performance yesterday? Look, at the end, he did what he had to do, and there's no taking that away. But he did look very shaky at the beginning. He threw maybe his worst pass of his Patriots career.
It's up there. That interception was pretty bad.
Is this just? This is just. How did you rate his performance? It wasn't indicative of how he's played this year?
Definitely not. Unsettled is the word that I would use. He didn't feel like he was comfortable with what he was seeing, and I think that led him to playing a little tentative at times. And instead of my analysis, I would just defer to Mike Vrabel immediately after the game. I thought he was straightforward and honest when he said, admittedly, this wasn't one of his better games. And I think specifically he might have mentioned just sort of, I don't know if he used the word mentally, but just sort of, that part of the game.
Okay, the run defense, and I know Milton Williams isn't there, but the run defense was so great, and now for a couple of weeks, Fields was a part of it in the Jets game, but for a couple of weeks, it hasn't been good, and yesterday it was bad. What are you seeing? Why is that?
Well, so 3 weeks in a row, Fred, they've allowed the opponent to average over 5 yards a carry. So we are now almost a month removed from that great statistic that we had talked about, how the Patriots defense had not allowed an opposing running back 50 yards or more in a game. That's gone. And I think it comes back to fundamentals and getting off blocks and being disciplined and staying in your gap. And they got to get back to it. And I think that's a theme for the team that I see right now is I used the analogy last night on TV, like almost like a car battery that's a little bit drained right now and needs to be, you need the jumper cables. See if you can get that battery back charged up again.
Okay. Two big injuries on the offensive line. The guard had a boot and a cane after the game. Will Campbell goes to the tent. He's taken off in a cart. So Campbell especially, that can't be good.
So, well, I watched him, Fred, walk out of the stadium, with a black brace. It looked to me like a full leg brace, but, it's a knee brace, but it was almost from his, thigh down to the shin area. Watched his facial expression and as you would expect, he was upset. What to read into that, I don't want to be an alarmist. I would just defer to what Mike Vrabel said within the last hour in one of his interviews. He said he obviously doesn't expect Will to play in this upcoming game Monday night. He said that injury is going to probably be more than a week or two. I think waiting on tests, usually in these situations, they go through MRIs on a Monday to get more information, and that's where we are right now.
Because, as you know, when they go to that blue tent, they can tell that something's torn in the knee. Like an MRI tells you what's torn and to what degree, but, that's why they take you off in a cart. Is with the knee. Not with other things, but with the knee. They can move it around. That's how they know. At least in my experience with athletes that I've dealt with, they can feel the knee moving around, and that's why the player's so dejected when they're leaving, is because generally they know something's torn in the knee.
Well, and Fred, I think on this one, I tend to do this. I think worst case scenario, which I think a lot of us are sort of programmed to do. There's a possibility that it is, and Mike Vrabel mentioned this in his interview.
Go ahead, the
today.
Radio. Yes, he's on
the radio.
They don't do a good job, but go ahead.
He was asked about, is it possible this is just a sprain? And he said, well, the thing you have to understand, and I'm paraphrasing him, is a sprain or a strain can have differing levels of severity. So there is a possibility here that nothing is torn and that it is just a significant sprain or strain. And I think based on what we saw with the cart, what I saw with the brace and his facial expression, if that's the case, that would be the best case scenario.
And I won't argue with that, and I am not an injury expert, but just a lot of times when it's a sprain, they'll take them off the field, and sometimes they'll even come back and stand, or they'll come back to the sidelines, or it generally isn't you're off in a cart. I'm when they and look, I don't want Will Campbell to be hurt, but I'm just saying that they know what they're doing down there. There's a way to tell. I'm just specifically like Achilles and knee. They kind of know. Now, if it's an MCL, could he come back this year? Absolutely. But I highly doubt it's a severe sprain, right? Like they would let him walk off. I don't know.
But
That's
the
splitting
thing
hairs.
is, whether it's a sprain or a strain, if there's varying degrees, it's not necessarily better. Like if it's a severe sprain or a strain of some
it
kind,
wouldn't take surgery. Is
it wouldn't
I guess
take
what the
surgery,
point.
but you could still miss, significant time. And at that point, who knows where you're at.
Right. It's just I don't think it's a sprain.
And I'm going to give you this detail, guys. So he went out at 4:58 of the third quarter. I went down to the locker room in the mid fourth quarter just to be down there for the end of the game, and I watched Will Campbell be carted from what I assume was the X-ray room to the locker room. So he was still on a cart, basically from when he left that play, third quarter, 5 minutes left to about, I'm going to say when I went down to the locker room was after Borregales' short field goal. So almost a full quarter. So that gives you a little behind the scenes as to what was happening.
That's good. That's good information.
That's very good information. So I'm a fatalist, Mike, after watching both of those injuries. I mean, to me, it was tough to see what happened to Wilson, for lack of a better phrase. It looked like he wasn't rolled up on, and it was non-contact, which is bad. And then seeing Williams get carted off with a towel over his head because he was crying is bad. Can the Patriots, I'm assuming they're going to be out for a while here, can the Patriots patch it together and succeed without those two guys out there?
I'm going to say yes, John, because they have really good coaching. And it is a drop-off. But I'm going to say yes because why am I going to say yes? Just because I feel like this – no, and it's hard. This is hard. I mean, it's also a quick turnaround. I think this team is 10-2. They've checked off almost every box that's been put before them. And so instead of taking the glass half empty view, why not say, well, let's see if they can check off that box.
Yeah, well, yeah, sure. I mean, they're 10-2. I don't think like the season's going to fall apart, but it just seems
expectations are different for me this morning than they were yesterday.
Well, absolutely. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, for a myriad of reasons, their run defense is softened. I think the season's taken a toll, as it does for a lot of teams. I think May's great. I don't look at yesterday's game as being like May's not great. I don't think he's going to win MVP, but May I think Stafford is. But, May is great. Was someone spit water? I just made a statement. That's an inside joke, Mike. That doesn't involve you. That's a Dondero joke. He spat water. He couldn't believe that May wouldn't win MVP. But, there are leaks. You know what I'm saying? And you have to see that. And this doesn't look like the same team. They're 10-2. Look, man, I know what you're going to do. You're all going to yell at me, so that's fine. Not you guys, but the audience, and I don't care. But the team doesn't look as strong as it did 3-4 weeks ago. I will say that. I believe that.
I think that is fair. You mentioned some of the leaks. Well, can we get a yard at the goal line?
Right. Yeah. Not great.
I'm speaking from their perspective. I think that's part of it. Pass rush. And I think, Fred, the counter, not the counter, but the two things I would say. Tell me a team other than the Rams that is ascending at a rapid pace. So I think there's an aspect of this. Just hang in the fight as long as you can and hope that you're at your best when it matters. And hope isn't a strategy, but you got to keep working on it and get to that bye week. Like I go back to that. Like I think they're sort of laboring here because it's a lot of weeks.
It's a lot of weeks in a row before the bye. This late bye seems like it was a disadvantage. You're absolutely right.
I agree. And so is it unrealistic? This is my question to you guys to say, okay, can you battle through one more week if you're the Patriots, get to 11 wins, get that week off and recharge? And can you come back on December 14th against the Bills and be that team we saw 2-3 weeks ago? I don't know. I don't know if you can, because I'm going to tell you guys, there was some stuff at practice last week, if you read between the lines, that I don't think Mike Vrabel was thrilled with. When you listen to them talk, like they got to tighten this stuff up at practice because it's getting into the games. That I deduce that from listening to him and players, and I think that's your point, Fred. Like they got to get back to it, and we'll see if they can.
Yeah, and no, I'm not saying they can, but it is certainly interesting, and an interesting game, a good game yesterday, and an interesting game. A little disappointed Burrow didn't play, but there you go. All right, Mike, thank you so much, and look forward to getting some information about you joining us sometime soon.
Definitely. Appreciate you guys.
All right, appreciate it.
Thanks,
caller
Mike.
number 10 to the contest line, 617-931-0985. Will score a pair of tickets to see the Patriots take on the Giants next Monday night at Gillette Stadium. We'll be right back.
Oh, man is an island, Jack. That's his best song from Club Paradise.
Was he the original Pressure Drop? Okay.
so.
Anyway, so talking about Will Campbell, and I told you that they can move your knee around to see if it's dislocated or that something's a tendon's broken, snapped. So I wanted to see if I was crazy. So I Googled it. Said, yes, a doctor can often tell if a knee tendon is torn through a physical exam alone. But then they'll use an X-ray, MRI, and ultrasound to confirm the diagnosis. I'm not crazy. He's got a tendon torn. It's not a sprained knee.
All the wishes and all the hopes of everyone. I just, what do your eyes tell you?
Well, I don't want him to be hurt.
No,
I don't
none
want
of us
the kid
want
to seem
that,
like
but
a
I
good
mean,
kid.
you can't stare at it and try and convince yourself something other than what it is.
But
you saw what happened.
But
to
you
him.
understand, it's where he got hurt. It's not just the cart. It's the cart that it's not just him crying on the cart.
No, it's
that he
his
went
knee
to the
got
blue
caved
tent.
in. Yeah.
And he went to the blue tent and they looked. And then if you're just joining us, Mike Reiss saw halfway through the fourth quarter where he had already been examined and everything, they still had him on a cart. So like his knees, he tore something in his knee. It's unfortunate. Ian, go ahead. Ian. Oh, Ian.
Ian.
No, it's unfortunate. Probably had something important to say.
Well, he's something about knees. He tore his ACL.
Oh.
Alf, go ahead.
fellas.
Alf wins.
Back from the dumpster fires. Back from the rebel. Back to the top of the AFC.
Yeah.
How about them boys?
Right. How do you think they looked yesterday, Alf?
Hey, look, Drake had to settle down. Once he settled down, we was on and popping.
Yeah, even not too good in the first half. But what do you make of that issue at the goal line there? The several plays from the one.
Hey, look, we're not gonna win every single play, man. It's all about the win. That's all I care about. I got my cigar. I don't care how I got it. I'm smoking it, man. Y'all take the joy away.
You're not smoking in the store though when you're checking the people
No,
out.
outside.
Okay.
Outside the store. Yeah, come on, man.
And then what do you put?
Smell like weed.
And then you pull it out and put it out, and then you light it back up when you go back out because you can't smoke the whole thing out in front of the store in one go.
Yeah. No, look, listen. I take a couple of hits, and that's all I really need.
Okay.
You know?
Oh, it's a blunt.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
Oh, you're
blunt.
still rolling
a
blunts.
nice, sizable blunt.
Oh, good for you, Alf. I like that you're still rolling blunts.
Do you
Respect.
get a discount when you purchase them from yourself?
Unfortunately, I do not. Even though I served the community for 15 years, they don't show me that kind of respect.
No.
Well, listen, working at a 7-Eleven is serving the community. It's like being a firefighter. All right, Ian, you're back. It's so rude of you not to be there, Ian.
Yeah, I apologize. I hit the wrong button.
That's
whatever. So what I'd say about ACL is I've had 4 of them. Mine were non-contact. I had 2 kids that had contact, and there's a couple things that have to happen on this. First of all, you're talking about a year. In terms of, if it is an ACL, if it's an MCL or a PCL, which are the backsides of the ligament, of the knee ligaments, those can repair, but the ACL isn't. I'm not like a doctor or anything, but I've been through it.
I'm going to stop you there. The ACL is a much more serious injury, and I don't have any idea if he tore his ACL at all. That's not something that anyone would know, even from that physical examination. They could tell if it's the front or the back of the knee, but they're not positive. In the MCL, either of those tears would out for the season. The ACL is where it starts getting into he's missing time next season. And that's like the kind of thing that sets your career back, is tearing an ACL. Like that's, I would imagine, too, for a left tackle, that's like a difficult injury to come back from. They do, and he will. But it's just something that is going to stunt his progression, and that's unfortunate. But I don't know that it's an ACL. But I can tell you that it's not a sprain, unless the people for the Patriots are the most cautious people in the history of football. because they can tell if it's a sprain. They can tell if it's a sprain or if something's wrong with the ligament. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Bob Socci is going to join us.
You're listening to Touch Your... Download the Sports Hub app for loads of stuff. Absolutely free. Connect with the shows, get podcasts, and more. Get it where you get your apps or at 985sportshub.com. Fred, what's it like to work with Hardy and Wallace?
What a golden ticket I've gotten.
There you have it. Toucher and Hardy resumes on the Sports Hub.
Pop Douglas motions right to left, fake to him. Moves up off balance, throw wide open left side. Hunter Henry all alone. Touchdown, Patriots! Flacco's under center, deep drop, out of time, double clutch. He throws it, picked off, goodbye. It's Marcus Jones, another pick six.
That is just easy pickings for him.
Brown moves up in front of Flacco, leans forward, takes a head-eye snap. A blitz coming. Flacco stands in, throws the ball toward the middle. Ball's batted in the air, incomplete. Knocked away by Marcus Jones. Patriots to their ninth straight win, and their 10th overall. They're going to hold on in Cincinnati.
I forget that I like that Public Enemy song very much.
It's a good one.
Can't trust it.
No.
No.
Don't sentence me, Judge. I ain't done nothing to nobody.
That's right. Except for Brigitte Nielsen, who they had a very tawdry relationship. You know what I'm listening to now is Wayne Kramer from the MC5's book. Very interesting life. Very interesting life.
I'm listening to Wayne Brady, who has very interesting things to say, not only about life, but about hosting game shows.
Whose line is it anyway? Oh, the way that they just come up with things from the top that are just embarrassing. I told you a guy from Whose Line Is It Anyway is maybe the most confrontational
Greg
interview I've ever had.
Proops, one of my favorite stories. Greg Proops.
I didn't want to have him on. We were forced to have him on because the venue, and he came into studio, and we turned on the mics, and he was reading the newspaper, and we made light of it, like, hey, you're reading the newspaper. He's like, yep. And I went, I didn't want to have you on. So here we are. Like, it's odd you're acting this way because, like, if you were De Niro, I'd be like, I think I might have said something along these lines. I'm like, if you were De Niro, I'd be like, wow, okay.
You give off the impression you would be a fun guy, but this isn't fun.
No, not even that. Like, I didn't want to have you on. And then he got pissed and left because I reacted poorly to his being a dick, which always fascinated me. And not like a funny Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Like when he comes on and rips on me. Like, which is funny. Like, he's being funny. You can say whatever you want about me if you're being funny. He was put his legs up and he was reading the newspaper like he couldn't be bothered. As if, we had brought in, Richard Pryor in 1982 and, he could do that. I mean, Jesus Christ. Now you got me. Now I'm upset. Bob Socci is the voice of the New England Patriots on the 98.5 The Sports Hub Patriots Radio Network. Bob Soci's hot takes are brought to you by Bigelow Tea. By now, you should know Bob starts every game with his favorite Bigelow tea. No matter how hectic your day gets, be sure to grab a mug of Bigelow tea and tea proudly. Bob, hello. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me. Thanks for making time for me in this hour. And I promise I will not rip you. I'm not funny enough to do that. So
no, ripping on me is fun.
I have nothing to rip you for, Fred. I appreciate it.
No, ripping on me is fun if it's funny. It's just this like idea that you're better than doing the show, and you're decidedly not. Like, I don't know if I would rather have Greg Prope's career than mine. I don't know if it's like he has to travel around to like, casinos in bad areas. Like, I get to stay home. All right. Anyway, so listen, Bob, you were there and you were calling the game. We haven't brought this up with anyone else, but were there pass interferences on those last two plays by Cincinnati?
Well, the Bengals fans certainly thought so. And I think that, we looked at the replay of the second to last, because we didn't see the replay of the last one. The second to last, I think you could make a case if you're a Cincinnati fan that Carlton Davis played through the receiver.
Okay, can I just stop you there?
Had a big problem with the pass interference that was called on him, but go ahead.
I was like 50-50. I can see why you didn't call it. The one that you didn't see the replay, was egregious.
That was, yeah.
It was egregious.
That's pretty unanimous in the room that was
No,
pass
well, it
interference.
was. I mean, you can be a Patriots fan and even call the game. You didn't see it, so I'm not saying this. You could be work for the Patriots and know that was a pass interference.
Yeah.
I mean, they got lucky. They got lucky in that situation because I'm not positive they could have stopped them from scoring.
How's the view from the booth there in Cincinnati, Bob? Because it seemed like it was maybe not the best vantage point for you guys when you're trying to identify injured players.
No, it's actually a great spot, with the exception of a couple of instances yesterday where I just screwed up on my own, and then a couple of instances where when there were injured players, particularly when Will Campbell was down, it was on the far side of the field, and he was in this cluster of bodies.
Scott thought it was a Wenu, and we were making the point of slight physical differences between the two.
Yeah, well, guys were coming away from the play, and I'm looking at the offensive lineman and trying to account for the offensive lineman that I can identify, and I didn't see Campbell, but I didn't want to rush to judgment. In fact, I think I started to say it appears to be, and then I caught myself just to make sure, and I was staring at the monitor at that point, and I did see a glimpse of the 6 rather, on the jersey, but didn't want to say that until we knew for sure. And actually, the same thing with Jared Wilson. I think it was a similar situation. And then there was a Bengals player who was injured, where there were 7 or 8 players, medical staff around him. T. Higgins, that one you could see because it was right in front of us, down below to our right. But there were a couple of times in those Patriot players, particularly linemen, who were in those pileups where it was just too hard to see.
No, we understand absolutely. And look, I don't really care if Patriots fans get upset with this line of questioning, because Hardy and I talked about it last night. If I was a Patriots fan, I would feel these ways. I'm just expressing to it as if I was a Patriots fan. The team, look, it's a slog, man. This bye week is too late. You'd agree the bye week they'd be better off if the bye week was a couple weeks earlier. Do you agree with that?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So it's been a slog. I get it. But the team does not look as good as it did, I would say, 4 or 5 weeks ago. Is this, and now there's injuries, and this happens to every team, but there's injuries. Are you as confident about this team in the playoffs as you might have been even 3 weeks ago?
Well, I think that when you look at injuries, that was always something that was out there, because with any team, as you alluded to, but with this particular team where they've improved, they still need to add depth. And that's why I think it is so important for them to continue to hold on to draft picks and make good selections, build through the draft, build up that roster. You look at Milton Williams, you lose a guy like that for only one game. And while the run defense had been a little leaky the last couple of weeks, not as stout as it had previously been, I still think yesterday we saw the evidence of his importance not being up there against Chase Brown right from the very first play.
And that concerns me. Cincinnati's offensive line, from what I've been told, isn't even that bad. It's not like this terrible offensive line.
It's not.
And I know Fields is a scrambling quarterback, so that kind of pumps up the rushing yards. But yeah, that was a huge strength of your team. And that's one of those things, Bob, as you know, if you can just take away the run game from teams, I mean, that's crippling the offenses, most offenses. That doesn't seem to be the case anymore. That would concern me.
That concerns me, and I think a couple of other things that, again, were I think big reasons why yesterday's game was as close as it was. The red zone offense, the struggles of the red zone offense. And they ran 6 plays from the 1-yard line early in the third quarter and didn't score a touchdown. They turned it over on downs after the Henry penalty. Henry touchdown was nullified by a penalty. That's been a problem for the offense, not just this past weekend, but recurringly now. I think the defense's struggles in the red zone, also the lack of consistent pass pressure. They got to Flacco with a blitz late in yesterday's game. It was a well-timed blitz.
And that was a terrible play by Flacco.
And I think that's going to be a big problem for them as well. If you have to, you get into a game against, and they're going to play better quarterbacks in the playoffs when they get there, and they're going to play better offenses, and you better be able to generate pressure. They play on a lot of zone coverages, and it just seems like, for veteran quarterbacks, it's a lot easier for those guys to just move their team down the field in that way.
Mike Reiss said something earlier about Mike Vrabel wasn't real happy with practice this week. He said they were cleaning some things up and they may have manifested in the game. Do you know about that, Bob? And like what seems to be some of the things they're struggling with right now in terms of getting ready for games and then executing?
Yeah, only what Vrabel alluded to yesterday in his press conference when he was asked about the red zone offense and the struggles in that particular area. And I don't know if that was him sounding a wake-up call to his team or not about their practice habits. The sense I've gotten all season long is that they've been pretty sharp with their focus during practice, and certainly the energy was good this past week from what I could tell in the locker room. They seemed like a confident bunch, recharged from the mini bye, but also pretty attuned to what they were going to do. I mean, we get practice access, or we get locker room access before practices. And so you have an opportunity to go in there as guys are getting ready for practice. And I got to say that the vast majority of those players are out the door well before our 45-minute session ends, dressed and ready to go for practice. So I don't sense from, our very small window into their psyche in the locker room that, they walked through practice, but maybe they weren't as sharp as they should be on some of those details, when you get into situational football.
And that's another thing I think is why it's so bad to have the bye week this late, is that that's almost inevitable. I mean, Vrabel's a great coach, and this team seems to be very close. I mean, what I heard about the offensive line after the injuries is this offensive line is extremely close. He's created a culture there, which, by the way, all this is great for next year. This isn't going to go away if they don't win a playoff game. This is going to be something. Vrabel's built the culture. You have the quarterback. Made him play particularly well yesterday, but I mean, he did what he had to do in the second half. I mean, he converted third downs. He did
a couple
things
of really big throws on third down.
Exactly, and that's something that most quarterbacks can't do.
Yeah.
So, so there's a lot set up for next season, but all these games in a row, you're vulnerable to injury. Your, practices aren't going to be. It's just not going to be, and I guess it's fortunate that you played Cincinnati and it beat up Cincinnati too.
Yeah.
But that doesn't stop injuries
Even
from
as
happening.
a little girl, people would comment that my tummy.
Yeah,
Yeah, is that Bob? Why did you go into that? Are you like Sybil? Do you have multiple personalities?
Wow.
Why did that just happen?
Well, there's a lot of activity going on here.
And what is Adam doing back there where he's listening to
in the house? I've got voices speaking to me.
Adam 12's looking up anti-bloating medication.
Coming from your computer, dude.
Wow. Adam's trying to tell me something.
It's not coming from mine because they won't let me put mine on air. They really won't. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It is a cliche, and people get tired of hearing it when players and coaches say it after an ugly win, so to speak, or kind of a grinded out type of game like yesterday, that it's the National Football League. And, I heard a lot of people say last week, whether Flacco or Burrow played for Cincinnati, this was going to be a cakewalk for the Patriots. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, and maybe this is silly on my part, because, I've been told that statistically, the law of averages really, doesn't exist. But you're due for, subpar performances in the NFL, and other teams are due for games where they pick up their level. I didn't expect it yesterday for the Bengals without Chase and with Burrow not being active for the game. But I still thought there was a potential for a Patriots letdown just because they've been going so well for so long.
And can I just
sustain that in the NFL?
And just interrupt you, I don't think it was great that Cincinnati was able to move the ball at the end of the game when they were missing T. Higgins, no Jamar Chase. They other receivers were hobbled. They were still out there, but they were hobbled. They were still able to move the ball downfield. And I understand you're giving them a little bit of cushion, but you don't want them down to the 15-yard line. I mean, they're. Where they would have been if they called the pass interference, but there are games that aren't going to be sharp. But again, just to reiterate, beyond the injuries, lack of pass rush, not being able to stop the run. The teams aren't running all over you, but not being dominant against the run. Your own foibles in short yardage situations. These are things that you can't win in the playoffs.
I was just going to say, limit your ability to succeed.
And again, I know the audience is going to flip out, and I don't care if I'm a fan of the Patriots. These are all things I'm thinking about.
I'm sure that the coaches and players are thinking about it too, Fred.
Well, Vrabel was pissed the whole game.
Yeah.
Vrabel was out of his mind the whole game. You could tell he was annoyed the entire game. He did not like the way they played. You could tell.
Well, yeah, and you look at the sequence at the end of the first half, 18-yard line for Cincinnati, 28 seconds to go. There's no way Cincinnati should be able to score in that situation. But they get a 21-yard run and then a 17-yard pass. And granted, it's a franchise record field goal for McPherson, but the Bengals should not have been in that position to line up. And I think you go back even to the Jets game. And granted, when you have a 2-score lead late in the game and time is your ally, you're playing softer. You'll concede yards to consume downs and time. But nonetheless, the quick fashion that the Jets scored in that game gave them a puncher's chance in the end to possibly recover an onside kick and have an opportunity potentially to tie that game or even go ahead and win it with an extra point had they scored a touchdown in desperation. So I think, like, you look at the end of the last two games for the Patriots defense, they come away with what I think is a big sigh of relief in the sense that Cincinnati was able to drive the ball downfield yesterday, or at least put themselves in position without T. Higgins, without Jamar Chase out there, to have a shot, for a couple of throws toward the end zone from near midfield.
All right. Well, look, good job yesterday. It was an exciting game. I'm a little disappointed Burrow didn't play, as I'm sure you are too. That would have been kind of fun to see. But Cincinnati, they were into it. I mean, and, a couple of goal line stands will do that to a team. And Flacco did what I saw him do so many times wearing the green and white, throw a pick six on a screen or on a dump off where the whole stadium saw the corner standing right there and he didn't see it.
Yeah, it was an odd choice.
Odd choice. But listen, the kid that you got from Miami, the kicker, is nails. So, I mean, he's nails. Since the first couple games of the season, he's nails. And he won you that game. So
he did, and give credit to the special teams coaches having a number of backups ready to go in and block for him because of injuries to players at various positions. That has a carryover effect in special teams. And they were able to put guys in there in place of, for example, Kairos Tonga to enable Andy Borregales to get those kicks off. We've seen a lot of blocked field goals this year in NFL games, and the Patriots were able to give them the protection as well.
All right. Well, thank you so much for the time. Great job as always. You're the best play-by-play guy in the business. You are.
Thank you, Fred. I appreciate it.
Believe me, when I'm in the car during Sunday games, and they're on all day, I have the satellite radio, and you can hear local broadcasts of games, and you guys are the best. I mean, certainly you are the best play-by-play guy. I'm not just saying that, without question. Without question. Iron Eagle on TV, you on the radio. These are my
I'll definitely agree with that first part for sure.
All right. Thank you, Bob. We appreciate everything.
All right, guys. Take care. Thanks.
See you, Bob. Enjoy Monday night. We'll talk to you, I imagine, on Tuesday. Okay. Look, it's time to go around the NFL. Great slate of 1 o'clock games, some real wild ones. 2 games. The Patriot game went very late. The Kansas City game went very late. The Detroit game went very late. A lot of great games at 1 o'clock. Nothing at 4, because I could care less about that Philadelphia-Dallas game. Don't shove that down my throat. But I don't.
I am going to shove it down your throat.
It's
At
a
some
great
point,
comeback.
It was a hell of an ending.
No, I said we should talk about it, but I'm just saying that the 4 o'clock games, just because you put Dallas on, doesn't mean that I'm going to watch it.
I will.
I was more into seeing how Shador played, and then I realized they were playing Vegas, and it didn't matter.
Shador, 4 o'clock.
That's what I did, and I watched a little bit of that, but I had my daughter, and I felt I needed to get her out of the house.
You could care less about Dallas because it's America's team, and you hate America.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just go by what the guy on middays on ESPN, the big punter, what he had to say.
Pat McAfee.
He's making a big, bold statement that so many of Americans hate the troops, which is true. There's a huge sentiment of people that go, you're volunteering your time for the protection of our country.
I hate you.
I hate you.
Screw you.
That's something that just gets thrown around all the time. You can't imagine how many private conversations I have where that sentiment comes up.
Soldiers are so stupid.
They're so dumb the way that they volunteered their lives to protect us. He really pulled that. If you don't like this, you hate the troops. And I don't even care what he does. It's just that thing. Like, oh, you are the one that loves the troops. I see. Now, where did you serve? Oh, you didn't. You punted.
Same place that Belichick did.
Yeah, exactly. Belichick could have been in the Navy. Still could have coached, too. Plenty of guys that had military service can coach. Might help. Put your leadership role in the military, discipline, could help you as a coach. Maybe he wouldn't be in the situation he is now if he actually went into the Navy. Stolen valor. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening.
NFL with Toucher and Hardy. Hit somebody!
All right, before we go around the NFL, Johnny, Ian Rappaport has a report that will interest the Patriots fans.
Yeah, just tweeted this out a couple of minutes ago. He was just on Good Morning Football, and this is the tweet word for word from Ian Rappaport. Patriots left tackle Will Campbell is believed to have suffered an MCL sprain and will have an MRI on his knees, sources said. He's a candidate for injured reserve with the hope he returns when it counts the most.
Interesting. So they carted him off. Then when Reiss went down there like a quarter later, they took him out of that, still on a cart. And he had a full leg brace on.
It doesn't seem to match up. It doesn't. I mean, the severity, the way they were treating Campbell would lead the onlookers to believe that injury is far more serious than a sprained ligament.
Without, forget it.
That's okay.
I go with Ian Rappaport.
It's great news.
It's great. Well, I mean, if he tore the MCL, there's a chance maybe he could have come back too. But like they haven't given him an MRI yet.
No, this morning apparently.
All right. Well,
they don't open until like 8:30. You know,
maybe he was the first guy in line.
I hope it's a sprained MCL for the kid's career, but.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want this thing to linger into next season. And
No. As long as it's not an ACL, that's good.
Yeah.
It's the ligaments underneath.
This is rap sheet, so
I just hope he did the patient checklist.
Well, you
fill that out
online. Yeah.
If you do that online ahead of time, and if you waited until you walk in this morning, it's like you won't have that thing done until like
wait
10.
a couple hours.
And if they put him in the blue tent, moved his knee around, and then said, "Hey, kid, you're gonna start crying." They obviously told him something he didn't want to do.
It hurt. Some people cry when they feel pain.
I'm, of course, not judging him on crying at all. It's the point I'm making is it was justifiable crying based on what they told him.
For somebody who doesn't cry, you seem to have a lot of opinions on when it's acceptable to cry.
Again, my point is not him crying. My point is they gave him information that made him weep, which I would assume.
You just said crying like 9 times in the last 10 minutes, so I don't know. It seems like you're talking about the crying.
Cry me a river, crying when I met you. Around the NFL is brought to you by Joyce Cooling and Heating in Nashua, giving thanks to all their customers these past 30 years. Save up to $4,400 in rebates and tax credits on new Lennox systems. Schedule at joycecool.com. Happy Thanksgiving from Joyce, ladies and gentlemen. And let's start with the late game, if we could. Hot tag.
Yeah, as good as that 1 o'clock slate was. Oh, there was a good game last night. A lot of back and forth in this one.
Baker in the gun. Throws right flat. Bubbled. And it is taken away. Ripped away. Kate Otten couldn't control it. It's Durant down the left sideline. Only Baker in front of him. Cuts back to the end zone. The land shark takes a bite out of Baker.
And now Baker was playing with a really screwed up left shoulder, and it was weird because he had to huck a ball at the end of the first half, and that took him out of the game because. And I'm like, is he left-handed? Because he threw the ball. I mean, he threw as hard as he could. He threw as far as he could, and he was down after like holding his left shoulder. He had been doing that all game, and then they finally had to remove him.
Yeah,
he was very ineffective last night. Matthew Stafford is now the pretty solid MVP favorite.
Last night ended all the suspense. I mean, he's got 30 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
25 of 35, 273 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks.
But the game was over at halftime. It could have been a lot worse than that.
Do you see what they do offensively with Nacua?
It's insane.
So what they do is they send him in motion, and then they'll run him between like the tackle and the tight end. And like, so they run him in motion, and then he cuts between the tackle and tight end.
And they were talking last night. It's like very few guys will run routes that take them through so much traffic.
I saw the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, and Stafford's so good that and Nacua is so good that he knows where he's going to be. And then Devontae Adams I believe he leads the league in touchdown receptions.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Stafford in the pistol has to go up and over his left shoulder to catch the snap. Lobs one, end zone. It's a touchdown! Devontae Adams racing underneath another Matthew Stafford dot.
That's tough to beat.
I'll tell you this. I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs.
Devontae Adams, 12 touchdowns, 3 more than anybody else. And Puka Nacua, number 3 in the NFL in receiving yards.
Listen to me. Listen to me. You don't want to play the Rams in the playoffs.
You know, that defense ain't bad either. So if you were going the elite team in football, the elite team, if you're being honest with yourself, like maybe the only like truly elite team is LA.
Maybe. And if look, it's his coach and it's his guy and it's McVay, but if there's even an element of truth to this, it's real scary. He seems to think Stafford, for as good as he's been, for as long as he's been, might be getting better.
The game's slowing down. I feel like he's in total command. I think he's got a lot of trust in the teammates that he's playing with. You know, there's a true ownership, and I think he's just totally and completely present, and he's really just enjoying the opportunity to compete week in and week out. Good things are going to happen because he's leading the way.
Yeah, at this point in his career, the game is slowing down for him, and he's starting to relax.
Rams have 6 straight wins. They are a plus 127 in 11 games.
And they haven't an easy schedule, by the way. Okay, so there you go. It's a lot of fun to watch the Rams. They have been dominant. Yeah, they beat the Bucs, Seahawks, 49ers, Jaguars, Ravens, Colts, Texans. Right. So they beat some good teams. All right, very good. What else, Hardy? There was we talked about some juicy 1 o'clock.
I tell you what, that Indianapolis Kansas City game. This is one a lot of people are hoping that Indianapolis can maybe pull this thing out and put the Chiefs in their place and get them below 500. And early on, it looked like maybe it was going that direction.
Back in to throw is Jones. Looking, fires into the end zone, and it's a catch for a touchdown, and it's Drew Ogletree. Touchdown, INDY.
Don't get too excited.
Yeah,
hell of a catch, too. Hell of a catch.
Made it 14-3 Indianapolis. Patrick Mahomes not able to get it done too much through the air, but they do have a ground game.
As the Chiefs go tackle over tackle, they give it off Kareem Hunt. He dives right into the mouth of the Colts. Touchdown, Kansas City. And the Chiefs have their first touchdown of the game. They'll go for 2.
Kareem Hunt touched the ball 33 times yesterday. So, you know, that game at one point was 23-9. The Colts were winning 23-9. The Colts, they don't trust Daniel Jones at all. At all. They stopped
20-9.
20-9.
Oh, okay, 20-9. My bad. My math was wrong. 20-9. They don't trust him at all. It would be like 3rd and 8, and they'd have a dump 4-yard pass. Like, they weren't challenging Kansas City downfield at all. They just got so conservative. It was unbelievable.
Well, a part of that is, look, first you're up, but the other part of it is...
Well, no, but they weren't up anymore. Kansas City scored 11 first-half points, or fourth quarter points. What my point is, if you want to keep the ball and run the clock, you need first downs. So you have to attempt to get first downs. You can't just run the clock. And if you're in a 3rd and 7 and you dump a ball 3 yards and they get tackled 3 yards away from the first down marker, you're being too conservative. They were I'm just telling you, they played not to lose, and it cost them.
Well, here's how it cost them. So, a 3-and-out before that touchdown, 3-and-out for the Colts before that touchdown. They did go for 2. They would get it. That made it 20-17. The Colts' next 2 possessions in the fourth quarter, also 3-and-outs. Chiefs, meanwhile, get it into position on a 15-play drive and get down close enough to kick the field goal, force overtime, where the Colts get the ball first, and guess what they do? 3-and-out. Mm-hmm. So their last 4 possessions in the fourth quarter and overtime, 3-and-outs, which gives the Chiefs the chance to win the game with Harrison Butker.
Reiss waits for the goal signal. Butker's kick is good, and the Chiefs have not led in this game until now. They get a walk-off field goal in overtime from Harrison Butker. Kansas
He's a good
City.
guy.
Did you watch this live? Did you see either of you watch
Yes.
this live? Okay. Did your feed cut out before the game winning?
Yes.
Kick? Mine. I missed it.
I switched over to my NFL season ticket to watch it.
I didn't watch it.
Mine didn't go anywhere. You know why? Because I paid the $400. Some fan you are.
Well, I was watching it on TV, and it went to black. I said, oh, that's not good. And after about 5 seconds, I switched over to the YouTube.
I didn't have any problem.
Good for
I was dancing around. between that, the Lions. I was dancing around. Obviously, the Patriots game was over at that point. Yeah, I was playing the game, Johnny. But you know what? I invested that $400.
You're a better man for it.
All right, we're also going to get to the Steelers-Bears game, the Detroit Lions, and the game that Fred said nobody cares about because he thinks everyone like him hates America.
I didn't say no one cared. I said I don't care.
Not finished. The America's team, Dallas Cowboys, in their game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Also, perhaps second only to Quincy, Massachusetts, the most patriotic city in America. Again, all about America, that game. Fred doesn't like it. The rest of us did, so we will talk about it.
Go Canada. All right, so we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines. Already going around the NFL, by the way, you're welcome for the Jets bet at 13.5.
Yeah, it was the one bet. Did I win another one yesterday? Let me check.
If you bet the over on the Lions game, you won.
I did not. I bet the over in the Patriots.
I bet the under on the Lions game by accident. I thought I had bet the over.
Someone else's picks poo-pooed the bed.
No, I've only given out 3 picks this year, and all 3 have hit.
Kendra had the Raiders, I believe, in the points, if I remember right.
By the way, that game should have been much closer.
What was the other big one she
Colts.
had? Yeah.
That game should have been much closer. All right, as we continue around the NFL, where are we going next, Hardy? You tell me.
You know what? Let's go to let's go to Chicago, where the Aaron Rodgers-less Pittsburgh Steelers were taking on Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. That means that Mason Rudolph in for Pittsburgh.
Throw out to Metcalf in the left flat. Metcalf turns on the Jets, and Metcalf into the end zone for the score with 30 seconds remaining in the first quarter. It is a Pittsburgh Steelers touchdown.
Made it 7-7. Now, this game was tight throughout.
Metcalf had a touchdown?
Yeah, how about that?
No. Oh, he did. He had a rushing touchdown. Oh, interesting.
Yeah. What'd you think?
Nothing.
All right.
None of your beeswax.
Let's skip to the third quarter here and see what Caleb Williams is up to.
Shotgun snap. Caleb taps the ball. Throwing open down the seam end zone. Touchdown, DJ Moore. Touchdown, Bears, baby. Bears have taken the lead. This one for 25. The middle of the field is a gaping hole.
What?
Wow. Okay.
What?
Bears would add to the lead in the fourth.
Snap. Williams giving him Monangai. Mighty Monangai standing up in from the 2. Touchdown. Touchdown Bears. And a 30-21 lead over the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers.
Steelers would go 17 plays in the fourth quarter, 73 yards to make it a 3-point game, but would have to punt it away on their next possession and then turn it over on downs. Finally, Mike Tomlin, what do you have to say about your quarterback? Not the one who played yesterday, about the other one.
I anticipate him being ready for next week. It was a prudent decision to make. Certainly it wasn't a fluid week for him. It was a fluid week for Mason in terms of reps and so forth. And so I think it'll be in our rear view as we move forward. I'm hopeful of that.
Yes, Steelers now 6-5. Meanwhile, the Bears move to 8-3. Caleb Williams, are you the same old Bears?
We're an 8-3 team in the National Football League. We feel good where we're at, but we do got to get better. And we don't feel like we're the same old Bears. We got to keep getting better. Like I said, it starts with me on my side, and then we'll keep growing from there.
September 14th, the Bears went to Detroit and lost 52-21. They were 0-2. They've won 8 out of 9, and Caleb Williams hasn't thrown an interception in a month.
Yeah, Caleb Williams has been good. Caleb Williams is proving himself with the right coach can be a very good NFL quarterback. There's no question about that. And then your Steelers are 6-5 as they look to blow that division.
Yeah, it's really too bad.
Yeah. Well, listen, they didn't have Rodgers would have made all the difference in the world yesterday. That was all on Mason Rudolph, except for the fact that it wasn't.
Right.
That's right.
Let's talk about, since you just mentioned the Lions, let's talk about the Lions as they're taking on the New York Giants.
Who you take on Monday night,
yes,
Patriots.
A week from today.
Yeah, it was a big one. Early on, Giants with the lead, but the Lions start clawing their way back. Get it? Because they're Lions.
Goff play action fake, sets, throws right side, caught. Gibbs reaches for the end zone. Did he get it? Yes, sir. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Goff to Gibbs. Sweet little ball handling there by Jameer.
Yeah, Gibbs is better than Taylor. Gibbs is the best running back in the NFL. The Lions defense, Hardy and I talked about this last night too. The Lions defense, I had this on my computer throughout the course of the afternoon's games. Their defense is awful.
Awful.
The Lions defense is awful. Don't look for the Lions as of now, if you ask my opinion, to do very much in the playoffs because I don't know who they're beating with that defense.
We were talking, Hardy and I, before the show about Jared Goff. And we discussed Jared Goff at length, and I think we came to an agreement on this, but why don't you give your theory?
Well, this is what I said after the loss to the Commanders, and I kind of forgot about it and wasn't feeling that way for a minute. Now I feel that way again. I don't think you can go deep and win it all with Jared Goff as your quarterback. You can win a lot of games with him, and he can be instrumental in those games. But he's not going to take over, and he's not going to flat out win you the game by himself with his arm, certainly not with his feet. He's just not what is needed in the current NFL, and especially with the defense like the Lions have right now. It's just
not
quite
I
enough.
disagree. They should have beat the 49ers in the NFC Championship game a couple years ago. It wasn't Goff's fault, in my recollection, that they didn't. It wasn't Goff didn't play exceptionally well against Washington, but they put up a lot of points. Goff on that team might be about as good a quarterback fit as you can have because they have so many ways to distribute the ball, and he's very good at that. I disagree. I don't put a lot of this on Goff. Goff didn't play well against Philadelphia, and he didn't play well in the first half yesterday, and he wasn't responsible, as I say all these things, for the game-winning touchdown. He wasn't responsible for a couple of touchdowns because Jahmyr Gibbs is just the most talented.
15 carries, 219 yards.
Him and the kid from Seattle seem far and away the best non-quarterback offensive players in the NFL.
It's more of a macro look at this. All the teams that play well and the teams that pull off wins and we think might have a chance, whether we're talking about Matthew Stafford or we're just talking about Caleb Williams, whenever the Chiefs win a game, it's not because of anyone generally other than the quarterback. And if Dan Campbell after the game is talking about it's Jahmyr Gibbs, and Jahmyr Gibbs did this and the 65-yard rushing touchdown, that's great. It needs to be the quarterback at least sometimes.
But it is. But Gibbs has been shut down this season in some games. He distributes the ball all over the place. And they're also very banged up. They have horrible injury reports. Laporta's out for the year.
I want to say this too. If teams start pulling tricks like this on the Lions or anyone else, you can't expect a team to overcome this too often.
Winston pumps his right leg, takes the snap, play fake. They run an end around for Olszewski, who's going to throw it. He does throw.
Gunnar Olszewski, yes,
Remember
that's
Gunnar?
right. Yeah,
Gunnar, yeah.
Gunnar.
Throw it down the left sideline for Winston, who makes the catch at the 15. Jameis reaching, fighting it is in for the touchdown. Holy cow!
Okay, you might not have seen this.
Oh, my goodness.
Jamison Williams caught that ball and then Jameis Winston caught that ball and then had to make moves.
Yeah.
And juked out of two tackles.
Muscled his way out of one and then juked his way out of
and then
another.
juked his way out of another. Old-ass Jameis Winston, who's huge and a great athlete, but my goodness.
On a pass delivered from Gunnar Olszewski.
Look, trick plays work sometimes, but he caught that on the 12. and then he muscled out of a tackle, like you said, and then he juked a guy and scored the touchdown. That was not the best look by that Lions defense. A lot of running around. But the thing is, I don't know why you're going after Goff, because even when they're down in that game, they're not going to lose. It took a 59-yard field goal, which is the longest that kid's ever kicked, to put that into overtime. And then Gibbs takes off.
Yeah.
If Gibbs gets a hole, you're not catching him. The offensive lineman, he might have been 5 yards past the offensive line, and the offensive linemen have their hand. It's a 69-yard touchdown, and they just have their hands up in the air right away because you're not catching them.
Well, you got your wish, Fred. We're not going to have time for the Philadelphia-Dallas game unless you want to do it next.
No. No.
Commies rejoice.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yeah, that's why Adam is saying woohoo. He's one of these New York mayor types. I just snorted. All right. What are you, one of them New York mayor types?
Quite a weekend in the Oval Office. Those two
Those
fast
chummed
friends.
it up. It actually made me like both of them a lot more. They seemed to kick it. They're like, we're just two guys from Queens. What do you want out of us?
Yeah.
We can kick it.
We're not so different.
Look, they need more of that.
I wonder if one of them went in heaping praise on the other, and that immediately changed the nature of the relationship.
I guess Trump has always respected his ability, because Trump loves the media. I guess if you want to get into it for a second, Trump really respected his ease with the media and his abilities as a politician. Because that's what, let's be honest, that's what matters to him the most after liking him. So I don't think the kid had a big hill to climb when he got in there. And look, I like that happened. The more that people with polar opposite political
can get along a
little bit publicly, I think is something that's desperately missing in this day and age. I don't particularly like either of them, but the fact that they got along was fantastic. All right, so we'll be back in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more. Toucher and Hardy?
Well, you're going to have to spend $40.
Cough it up, and let's get back to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
And hello again, everyone. It is great to have you with us for this Week 12 encounter of the 9-2 New England Patriots and the 3-7 Cincinnati Bengals.
Be a lady tonight.
Flacco's deep drop. On time. Double play. He throws it. Picked off. Goodbye. Another pick six against Cincinnati.
A late, lazy throw by Flacco to the right flat.
Jones crossed the 10, 15, 20. Accelerates 25, 30. He's got an angle to the right. Down the middle of the field to the 45 of New England. He stumbles across the 35 and spills inside the 30 at the 27. And there is a flag that's way back at the 30-yard line to our right.
Turn return. Holding. Receiving team number 43. A 10-yard penalty. Wow. First down, Cincinnati.
May drops back looking to throw. He throws it toward the left side. It's incomplete. There is a flag, however.
You got bailed out here, I think.
Luck be a lady.
Flacco takes the snap. Plenty of time. Throw down the middle. Ball is going to be incomplete. Sailing between Davis and Hawkins, two closing defenders. On the throw intended for Tinsley. Fans looking for a call.
I'll be looking for a call, too.
Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube, and there has been a little bit of information from a source about Will Campbell's situation, which, John, what is that?
It is, according to Ian Rappaport, that it is an MCL sprain. He'll undergo an MRI today. The hope he is a candidate for injured reserve, and the hopes that he can return when it matters most later this season.
Okay. And he is still due an MRI and all these things. So I don't know what's leading them to think it's a sprain. Hopefully it is a sprain. And MCL is obviously the best news, even if it's there's some damage to it. I don't know what a sprain signifies. I don't know if a sprain means that there's a partial tear. I don't know what that means.
The question is the reaction from Will Campbell. It looked, watching him and seeing that knee fold up sideways, it looked a lot worse. And Campbell being in tears with the towel over his head, you would have thought the news would have been a lot worse than that. So very good luck for the Patriots if indeed that's the case.
You know, credit to Jesse Morris, MD, on Twitter, who 12 hours ago said, based on updated video, seeing comments, the most likely diagnosis is an MCL sprain. There are two possible supplemental injuries here. Meniscus, which is often injured in moderate MCL sprains, and sometimes the ACL is injured as well. Best case scenario, he returns after the bye in 3 weeks. If moderate, will take 4 to 6 weeks, early playoff return. Severe, which are uncommon, require surgery and would be season ending. That's a doctor, Jesse Morris, a serious doctor, because he's putting all this on Twitter.
And also, good doctors can just from afar, from television, tell you exactly what happened. So we'll see. Hopefully that's the case. But, I mean, it's not great either way, but hopefully it's the case. I mean, they put him in the blue tent. You can tell by the way the knee is moving if there is something wrong with a ligament. They put him on a cart. He got x-rayed. Mike Reiss told us that Reiss went down in the middle of the fourth quarter. They were taking him out of that room on a cart. Then he had a full leg brace on after the game. And so hopefully that's the case.
And
we'll see.
The left guard, Jared Wilson, who no one's really sure how he hurt himself, but he couldn't put any weight on his ankle. He left in a walking boot. I think it's not beyond the realm of possibility that neither of them play.
And he had a cane.
And he had a cane afterwards. Neither of those guys are going to play Monday night. And if both are out an extended period of time, with Buffalo and Baltimore coming up right after the bye week, the Patriots look extremely vulnerable. They looked very vulnerable yesterday. There was some luck, getting back to that word, that got them the win yesterday. You have the New York Giants, who gave Detroit all they could handle yesterday, coming in at 2-10, and then you have two really good teams after the bye week. All of a sudden, 13 wins seems like a pipe dream, even
Okay.
though they
Now,
have 10.
hang on to your. Go ahead, Harvey,
Well, was it a cane or a crutch for Jared Wilson?
I've heard cane and I've heard crutch.
cane.
Because cane could be an affectation.
Oh, like the guy from Boys to Men, but he did have
Mr. Pete Nice from third base.
But the guy from Boys to Men did have a physical, a physical problem. He actually did.
Yeah, he had a spinal problem. That's right.
So
I remember
that cane was, Pete Nice just was classy.
The Prime Minister Sinister.
That's why he had a throne and a cane, because that's what classy people do.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
All right, so Patriot fans, hang on to your hats, because I'm going to say something that's going to upset some of you, even though this is speaking from a fan's perspective. I'd be very concerned about their run defense falling apart. I know Milton Williams isn't there, but that's huge. Like, when you can just take away a team's run game, that obviously is massive, especially against some of these teams in the playoffs that are, that are run heavy. Like if you played in Indianapolis, if you played Baltimore, with the way Lamar Jackson can't move around. Lamar Jackson was not good yesterday. He's not as quick as he used to be. But like, if you're playing teams that are run heavy and you can take that away and force them to be one-dimensional, that's obviously huge, and that was helping a lot. Now now, is this fatigue? The bye's too late. The one thing you can say about their schedule, as easy as it's been, is this bye is too late. The second thing is these short yardage situations. I don't understand why they can't get any push. And Campbell was in for one of them.
Yes.
And so the one where they had 6 chances, So
the second time when they came back around and blew it again, he was not.
He was not out there. But the first one where they had 5 or 6 chances from the one, because they were gifted that pass interference, that would concern me as well. So this team doesn't concern me. He was bad at the beginning of the game, but whatever. He got big third downs when they needed him. They had a few third and longs that he converted that were huge for them. And it's not his fault necessarily that they're not scoring from the one. It's a play calling issue, I think, in some ways. But you, in fairness, should be able to generate enough push to get a guy in the end zone from the 1 yard line. You just should. If you have multiple cracks at it, you should be able to do it.
The worst part about it was they didn't run the ball into the line 3 times. They tried a lot of different things, and nothing worked.
I'll never fault a team from the one if you just run the ball in the and I know they didn't have 4 cracks in a row because of penalties, but I wouldn't fault a team. It's just going, we're doing this 4 times. And if you guys can't generate enough push, with 4 times to advance the ball 1 yard, because it's not even 4 cracks to go 1 yard. Pick up effing 4 inches each time that you carry the ball. You know what I'm saying? All you have to do is advance the ball. That's something that you should be able to do as an NFL team. It is. And a lot of these tush pushes are not working anymore for anybody, which is nice, right before they ban them. But Baltimore tried that a couple times with Mark Andrews, and it wasn't working. But those 2 things would concern me if I was a Patriots fan. Also, what would concern me is how Cincinnati moved the ball at the end of the first half, how Cincinnati moved the ball. It was the end of the first half where they got the field goal, right? And how Cincinnati moved the ball at the end of the game when they were missing T. Higgins. They were a mash unit on offense.
They had them 4th down, too.
Yeah.
On at least one occasion, maybe 2 on that last drive. I'm trying to remember.
What, the last Cincinnati drive?
Yeah, I think they had them 4th down.
4th and 1 they converted. A 4th and 8 they converted.
Yeah, twice.
And then the 4th and 10 there was the pass interference that they didn't call on Gesicki. But that is the way that it is. And that was pass interference.
But yes, you're seeing the injuries actually translate into real-time problems.
And I also just think the wear and tear of the season, that but beyond the injuries, just this is in some ways talent finding its level, which is a team that could get a bye in the first round, and I'm not taking that off the table at all. But I'm just saying that I seeing the way the last 3 weeks have gone is not making me overly confident for a long playoff run.
The one positive that you can take away from losing your left tackle and left guard is that you look at Drake May, who has taken a lot of punishment standing back there in the pocket. He got sacked once yesterday, and if I remember correctly, that was on a blitz from the side for one of the defensive backs. He only got hit 3 times.
Yeah, that they weren't blitzing at all. They were every team, and it's great because Perry called it. Perry or Callahan, I think it might have been Perry. Perry, I think, did it. Every team's falling back.
Yeah,
in the zone.
I think it was all Callahan falling back, dropping back 8.
They're all dropping back 8, which is a credit to Drake May because they know if you put pressure on him that he can step up into pressure and he doesn't care.
But I'll take as a result of that, I'll take the fewer hits on the kid. I'll take that all day long.
Yeah, he still runs and doesn't slide.
True, but at least he's not getting an abnormal amount of punishment while standing back there.
And Tampa Bay, since you beat them, has gone on to lose 2 straight, but against very good teams.
And then
at Buffalo and at
then they
LA.
lost their quarterback.
And now they've lost their quarterback. Which isn't going to help your strength of schedule.
No, but ultimately, what are your expectations now for the Patriots? Even if Campbell only misses 4 weeks or 3 weeks, I mean, you're going to lose.
Well, they're going to have to put him. I would imagine they'll put him on IR, so I imagine he'll miss 4 weeks at least.
Yeah.
Baltimore's not good, so I don't think you beat Buffalo. I think that you could beat Baltimore. I think that you could.
The Jets in Miami at the end,
and then it depends if you care. But
right.
I mean, you're certainly going to beat the Jets. They're devoid of talent.
But
now.
in the playoffs, I think the expectation was for them to win a playoff game here. I mean, regardless of where they wound up.
Yeah, I'm not positive
1, 2,
they
or 3,
win.
and that's the thing.
Yeah, I'm not positive.
I mean, the injuries are mounting up. You have Milton Williams who's out for at least another 3 games, and there's backup. Tonga got hurt yesterday and didn't come back. I mean, you're running out of defensive linemen. You didn't have a lot of depth to begin with. I mean, can you imagine?
And Tonga's serving as like a secret weapon on offense when you have trouble punching through from the one.
And I wonder if that hurt them on short yardage, his absence, because they weren't able to use him. So that's a good point. Yeah, I wonder if that hurt him because they were certainly successful with him when he was in. So
I mean, can you imagine if either Vidarian Lowe or Ben Brown get hurt? I mean, this offensive line was paper thin to start with, and now you've lost 2 of your starters. You thought you lost a third there for a second. There is a lot up in the air here.
Thank
a
God!
lot.
Thank God the Giants used that trick play on the Lions.
Oh, that's
yesterday.
right. They don't have to worry about it
There's
now.
no way they tried that 2 weeks.
Well, Winston's throwing 8 picks against the Patriots. He's going to come out hot. Like Winston after a game like he had on Sunday, Winston's going to come out just chucking the ball all over the place.
He's feeling himself. You see they keep posting videos of those pep talks before games where he's screaming at guys.
Well, he's a great teammate. Like Winston's like a funny guy. Like he's like a really good teammate.
He's the only member in NFL history of the 30-30 club. 30 touchdowns and 30 picks in the same year.
Tough to do.
Very difficult to do.
Which is why I'm telling you he's going to come out on Monday night. Look, do I know you're going to beat the Giants? No. The Giants played the Lions very tough. The Lions defense is a joke. Your defense is better than the Lions defense, but who knows? If Winston gets in one of those grooves like he was in yesterday, you don't have as good an offense as the Lions. Like you're not coming back from being down that much. I think we all agree against like a team you're down 17 points or something like that. I don't know if you're coming back. You came back from 10 yesterday, but it took a really bad pick 6.
Giants have blown 3 or 4 fourth quarter leads. They just fired their defensive coordinator this morning as a result of it.
No.
So.
Well, this interim guy seems to be making some hay.
That's right.
I guess Mike McCarthy is the new coach of the Giants if he wants it. That's the talk. I was listening to the ESPN New York affiliate, which stops its stream 2 hours before the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because why would they let you hear pregame? So I guess McCarthy is who they want. They want an established coach. They're done with a guy getting his first NFL job. They've tried that and they don't want to do it anymore.
Tried it a couple of times. It's not working.
I think Am I wrong that they've tried it 4 times now? It was
in a
Dayball,
row, yeah. Joe Judge,
which was a special teams guy. No, I'm just. He was Joe Judge special teams when he came in? Joe Judge was special teams when he came in.
Yes.
Which they say is like not as odd as you would think. That special teams guys.
Dayball, Judge, Pat Shurmur, Spagnuolo, McAdoo. Those are all the guys that came after Tom Coughlin.
None of those sound like retread head coaches. Spagnuolo was a defensive coordinator before the Giants job, correct?
I'm looking at it here. Let's see. Giants. He was Giants defensive coordinator, Ravens secondary coach.
Okay, so yeah. So that's a lot of coordinators that became coaches in a row. So I guess they want a guy.
But Spagnuolo was the St. Louis Rams head coach for 3 years a while ago.
Okay.
So he wasn't a first-time guy.
All right. Maybe they were saying a guy who was most recently a head coach. I don't know. But that was what the argument was.
Shurmur was a first-time guy. So the last three have been
the last 3
guys.
There you go. All right. So there you have it. I guess they're over with that. And if you think about it, who else are you going to hire? I mean, it's McCarthy and who else? Like, can you think of someone that's like a head coach? A head coach that's had some success that you could bring in?
Oh,
is Coughlin still
put
alive?
That qualifier on.
Yeah. They have to have been good at some point. You know, McCarthy's got the Super Bowl. I'm wondering if if there's a guy that is available that's good who's not in the midst of a lunatic breakdown that you could have. Because Belichick, he said, "Hey, I'm all in on this North Carolina thing." He took his name even out of the conversation because that was happening. All right, we'll be back.
By the way, them being good enough just to get to a bowl was kind of a foregone conclusion based on their schedule. You looked at their schedule at the beginning of the year and like, yeah, they're going to win 6 games.
Oh, you're talking about North Carolina's schedule? Yeah. It's atrocious. Yeah. North Carolina's schedule is a joke. Absolute joke.
Yeah, get them to a bowl, make a little money for the school. It's fine.
Yeah, get them into any bowl.
Yeah.
Like they do every other year.
Yeah.
Like they did last year.
Yeah.
You're worse than Mac Brown. You played TCU. So TCU now is what's TCU's record, Jonathan? If you could do that,
I'm gonna have to look. Yes,
you played Charlotte, Richmond, UCF. I can tell you, you played Clemson, and Clemson is a solid 6-5. You played Cal.
TCU 7-4.
Cal is 6-5. And they just lost to Stanford. You played Virginia, who's okay. You played Syracuse, who are 3-8. You played Wake Forest, who are 8-3, 4-3 in the ACC. You played Stanford, who are I don't even see Stanford. Stanford are 4-7, and you played Duke, and Duke's okay. Duke is 6-5. So that was a real. And now they play NC State. And NC State is 6-5. So it was. They're all bowl eligible, these teams. So I have to give it to them. But yeah, you're right, Hardy. Because the non-conference with TCU, Charlotte, Richmond, and UCF was almost unfathomable how you were going to get through that gauntlet. And then you get into that ACC, which just look at the ACC. Who wants to play Virginia, Pittsburgh, or SMU in the college football playoff?
You don't want to play them.
Whoever comes out of that ACC is going to be real trouble. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. I didn't have enough time. You brought in 70 kids. You had as much time as everyone else. You were there in December. You had the whole preseason to prepare these kids. And you can't beat Duke, Wake Forest. You can't beat Cal.
As bad as they were, I wanted them to be a little bit worse. I wanted 3 wins.
Dude, Syracuse is a 1AA team. Believe me. And Stanford's no great shakes either. They plenty embarrassed themselves. Don't worry.
According to what I see here, they have Notre Dame next year. So that'll kick things up a notch.
I can't imagine he's coaching that team next year. I can't imagine Lombardi's around.
TCU over in Ireland, according to what I'm reading here, in Notre Dame at home, at least.
Back-to-back TCUs. All right. Well, they'll get their kids in there, unlike the 70 they brought in. a bowl team last year. They couldn't keep the kids from the bowl team. They had to kick them all out so they could bring in kids not to make a bowl.
Hey, Dion started slow. He only won 4 games his first year.
By the way, 9-2 Virginia, their quarterback, where'd he want to go?
He wanted to go to North Carolina.
And Lombardi told him to go screw, so he went to Virginia, and now Virginia's 9-2.
Yep.
All right, we'll be back.
Tar Heel is a loser.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
More Toucher and
You know, I got an idea for a bit. The email bit. We should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
Hey, I don't have the sponsor. Oh, no, this is email.
Correct.
Oh,
Stack is
jeez,
sponsored.
Louise, my bad.
No, it's good because now we can remind people that the email bit is sponsorable.
Yeah, we're hurting. Listen at the end of this segment for a chance to win a pair of tickets to see the Pats take on the Giants Monday night at Gillette Stadium, which should be a fun game because Jameis Winston's a lot of fun to watch. He's not afraid to chuck it around, and he's also very athletic because he physically broke a tackle and then juked a guy after he caught a ball on the 12-yard line and was able to navigate his way through that porous Lions defense. Anthony says, if it does turn out that Will Campbell sprained his MCL, then this might honestly be the luckiest team in the history of the NFL. With how many times throughout the season you saw guys go down with what looked like ugly injuries, you'd assume you'd be watching a D3 college program by now. Whatever black magic voodoo Vrabel is using, do you think he'd let me borrow some so I can go play the lottery? That's Anthony in Warwick. Do you have the quote of him after the game talking?
Yes. You want to play it, Hardy?
I actually like this quote of him after the game.
It's at the top of Monday. I can play it if you want.
If you got it pulled up, go ahead.
Any update on Will and just how much? I don't have an update on anybody right now, unfortunately. I appreciate you guys all talking about the injuries this week, so thanks.
Yeah, because people
we
that
jinxed it.
Well, I think he's like, saying, yeah, you jinxed it. I don't think
karma right back in my lap. Thank you.
Yeah, I like Vrabel. I think that's a good. I really appreciate you guys talking about the injuries. Now I got to deal with a bunch of injuries.
Yeah.
Like you guys keep talking about how no one's injured, and now all of a sudden it's a mass unit out there. But yeah, man, if he just sprained his MCL, and now look, an MCL could keep him off. A sprained MCL could keep him off the rest of the season. I mean, there's severities of these things, but based on we're going over it a lot, but I mean, it's a big deal. Based on everything that happened before and after that game, if nothing is torn, first of all, the MCL just is good anyway. It's not an ACL, so that's great. It's an MCL, which is a lot better. It won't, even if it was torn, it wouldn't affect his career, and he'd certainly be back by next season. But if he didn't, sprained can be frayed. It's all relative. Like he might not have snapped it, but it might not be torn, but there could be fraying. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You might not be able to play on it, or it will snap. So none of this, and Vrabel even mentioned it. Reiss talked about it while he was on. There's severities of sprains, and it's not necessarily a good thing if it's a sprain, whatever. But yeah, if he managed not having severe damage to his knee, that's incredible luck for the team, and incredible luck for him. He seems like a good guy.
Chief in Westford says, "Can someone please tell Fred that it's okay if he's wrong if it's not torn? Why is he so fixated on the ligament is torn? It's okay to be sprained. Dope." You're the dope.
John, when you read that to me off the air, what did I do when I came on the air? You read the report off the air. What did I tell you?
I don't remember. What did you say?
I said to read it.
Oh, yes.
So John
okay.
said off the air that there's a report that it's an MCL sprain.
Yeah.
Then I said, John, read the report.
Yes.
And then John read the report. And I said, oh, that's good news.
Yes.
And and then we all talked about based on everything that happened, you wouldn't think that was what the case was. And that's a good thing.
Yeah. But Patriots fans love to get angry. I have
I did not touch his knee.
No. No. But the overall tenor of Patriots fans are fantastic. I have 4 different emails from 4 different people, but they all basically say this: sprained MCL? What do your eyes tell you now, idiot? Period.
Wasn't my eyes. It's that they can move around your knee and tell if something's out of place.
I said that. I said, what do your eyes tell you? His knee got caved in from the right side. He was openly weeping and carted to the locker room. And Mike Reiss told us they carted him for whatever x-ray place or MRI place they were in, carted him back to the locker room an hour afterwards.
I wonder why people don't like Patriots fans.
I mean,
it's almost strange.
I swear to God, the worst thing about being a Patriots fan is other Patriots fans.
Think you guys bitch about good news?
Oh, my God. Just get over it.
Yeah, man. I thought they moved around his knee in the blue tent, and I don't know, his crying on the cart. And then when Reiss doubled down and said he saw him after they had looked at him in the middle of the fourth quarter, he was still getting hauled around on a cart, and then he had a big-ass full leg brace on him when he left.
I don't know how you could look at the video of that knee and go, oh, no, he'll be fine.
Dude, I wasn't even talking about the video. I was just talking about what they do as doctors.
It's amazing.
And then I even Googled it, and they're like, yeah, they can tell. If they're like, yeah, you can tell. Good fortune, but nothing like good fortune. Which one of us went, hey, it wouldn't be Hardy because he stayed out of it. I don't know if John or I ever said, like, as a physician, I can tell you. Like, yeah, you got good news, dude. If this is all true and it's good news and he's only out 3 games, then I guess you could enjoy it or you could bitch.
I can only speak for myself. I desperately wanted Will Campbell to be out for the season. I can't hide it anymore. You guys found me out.
And I'll tell you this, is that, like, if you saw him getting carted off the field and went,
he's
nothing.
Fine. Rub some dirt on it. Get back in there.
And then you heard Reiss say, yeah, they were still carting him around 20 minutes later, or 30 minutes later, still carting him around to the
What
locker
about the
room.
towel over his head? It's probably just like a hot eucalyptus. It's like a flight attendant gave it to him.
Yeah, like when they went in that blue tent and said, by the way, you can't even walk to the locker room. That's always good news.
You Patriots fans that are between the ages of 20 and 35 are precious. Don't ever lose that wild sense of wonder. Please.
Brandon says, Fred, thank you for the Jets plus 13.5 play.
Finally,
I thanked you for that too. You don't
made you.
You don't give bets out on the air often, so when you do, I hammer it. Put 15 big ones on that and won $28.04.
Well, you didn't win $28.04. You won
$13.04. But happy gobble gobble. I myself put 20 smackers on that baby.
Well, that was the only game that I won this weekend as well.
Well, the losing streak is over. There you go.
Well, no, I lost more than I won. I took the under on the Lions game, and I meant to take the over, so that shows how into it I am.
But it also shows that you're not a real gambler because I, like Brandon there, I did not win $18.87. I won $38.87. I count the 20 that I bet as part of the win because I didn't lose it.
See, I put 100 in change, so I would get 100 in return. I bet the change at the end of it, so I would get my solid $100. I have given out 3 bets over the last 2 years, and they've all hit. And Miss Expert over there. And by the way, that game should have been a lot closer if Hall doesn't fumble on the 2.
So now I have one of those odd amounts in my account. I got $39.07 burning a hole in my pocket for the Monday night game.
It's the worst when you don't have enough to really bet anymore, and then you know you have to make a deposit, and it just makes you feel like the biggest loser, which is like what's been because I don't even really like gambling that much. Like I don't get
at least you've cashed yours out once.
Yeah. Okay, there's
or twice. You had to cash it out after the overtime or the over bet in the Commanders Lions game.
People study gambling and like all that stuff, and I don't find that interesting. And that's just like a job, and a job you don't make a ton of money at. Like the returns on that, unless you got a lot of money and you're willing to risk it, aren't anything I'm interested in. But there are once, twice a season, something will all go. I'm almost positive this is going to happen. And that was the case with the over in the playoff game with the Lions, which was hit at the half. It was the case of the first game. I knew the Patriots were going to lose to the Raiders. I just knew it with a new coach. And not like Pete Carroll who's going to go in and rah it up. It's the first week of the season. And in Baltimore, I got news for you. I wouldn't be overly afraid of Baltimore. They're not very good. They're really not very good. The Jets went for it on 4th down in their own territory in the second half, gave the ball right back to the Ravens, and they scored. And then Hall, down 10, Hall fumbled on the 2. He had a great game, but he fumbled on the 2. I mean, that would have been a 3-point game at that point. Late in the third, early in the fourth, that would have, maybe midway through the 4th, that would have been a 3-point game. So the Ravens and the Jets do suck, and they're just talent deficient. But the Ravens are not a really good team. In fact, I think the Patriots are better than the Ravens. How about that?
As constituted right this second or completely healthy?
Unless Lamar Jackson gets to where he was anywhere, because he did not look good. They held him under 200 yards, and that's not an all-world defense. As currently constructed, that's it. Where is it? Where's the Ravens game?
I think it's there. I got to check.
Okay, because I just go with the home
it's in
team.
Baltimore.
Yeah.
Then you know what? I still might like the Patriots in that game. I think the Patriots are better than Baltimore.
I will say this. It looks like Baltimore is trending toward getting in. They're going to get in as a top 4 seed, too. They're going to win
They're going to win their division.
They're going to win that division. So if things hold, you'll play them in the second round of the playoffs, whatever. I would be more scared of Mahomes coming here than I would of Lamar Jackson coming here.
John, yeah. By a lot. By a lot. And their best defensive player yesterday is all banged up. He had to keep coming off the field. That safety from Notre Dame, which just shows you how old I am. I refer to people by their position and where they went to college. Caller number to the contest line, 617-931-0985. We'll score a pair of tickets to see the Patriots take on the Giants next Monday night at Gillette Stadium. And when I had the opportunity, but the only time in my life to cash out my account was that run of betting the money line at halftime of Michigan State basketball games, nice. Which was that was into the thousands. That was like $10,000 that I had won at that point.
What?
Yeah, dude, I was money line when they're down 10 at the half. Put $300 on that. Skashubi. All right, so we'll be back. Here are the headlines.
Essential Sports Hub headline. thinking, what could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on
The Bruins and Celtics didn't get much mention other than in John's headlines today. Lost to San Jose 3-1 for the Bruins. What did we say would be a good record for them on this road trip?
3 points out of the 4 games, and so far they have 2 points out of the 4 games. They have 2 points in the first 3 games.
The 2 goals that I saw Swayman let in did not look like they necessarily were good goals.
In the overriding story on the other side on offense is Geeky. He scored again last night. He was the only guy who scored for the Bruins. They lost 3-1 in San Jose. He's got 5 goals in 3 games on the trip, tied with Nathan McKinnon for the league lead. 17 goals this season.
Shouldn't go without mention, too, that the Celtics lost to the awful Brooklyn Nets on Friday night, but did pick up a win over Orlando, 138-129. So next up for them, home against the Pistons. That'll be on Wednesday night.
Orlando without Paolo Banchero, their best player, as is always the case in the NBA. Even though they had a 26-point third-quarter lead, all of a sudden it was down to 6 in the final minute. They hung on, and they did it without a center. Neemias Queta sprained his ankle in the first quarter. With Luka Garza sitting over there, Fred, they didn't put him in, and they went small for most of the game, and they wound up winning.
By the way, Elias Lindholm back for the Bruins last night.
Yep.
This just in, Guns N' Roses announcing a world tour in 2026. They will begin in Mexico. They will travel through South America. Finally, they go to the UK. They go to all over Europe. When they finally land stateside, they will play in Raleigh, North Carolina in July, head up the East Coast to New York, Pennsylvania, Ontario, New Jersey. No Boston.
But
really?
I was looking at the schedule at Fenway Park for the Red Sox. That first weekend in August where Guns N' Roses has like a 3-day break, Red Sox are in L.A. playing the Dodgers. So I would expect that that's going to be a
They're playing arenas,
though,
right?
Right, but if they're
not arenas, they're playing stadiums, though, right?
Oh, so you think it could be Gillette instead of Fenway?
I don't think they're going to play in Boston, but maybe they are. Whatever. I've never seen them, and I'm fine with that.
It just seems the last few times they've toured when they've played Boston, they played Fenway Park.
So it's Slash, Duff, and Axl. And Axl really can't sing anymore. And then it's Sorum and then a collection of others. There's no Izzy. There's no Popcorn Adler. Why would you even want to see Guns N' Roses anymore?
Maybe because they're also releasing 2 new songs. And that's what you want. You want the new stuff. Play the new stuff.
I loved Guns N' Roses. Absolutely. As we all did. I'm sure everyone loved Guns N' Roses.
I loved Appetite. I can't say I loved them beyond that.
Well, no.
Well, you loved one album.
I loved when the Lies thing came out, too. And then my friend had Live Like a Suicide. He had the tape, like the real one. He had found that at a record store. We had gone record hunting, something that no one does anymore. And we had, I know, Adam, the libraries aren't safe from your sticky fingers.
Many good record stores as well.
But my friend had Live Like a Suicide. We were super into him. No, Use Your Illusion?
Yeah.
No, I remember when Riff, it was the only time I ever really listened to Riff. They had a advanced copy. They were going to finally play Use Your Illusion. And they played, like November Rain or Don't Cry or whatever nonsense was on there. And I was like, oh, okay. Baby. Yeah, that's right, Arthur P. What are you bugging me down for? Save it for the night show. Arthur P's got enough to say. I got a 5-hour interview with Nugent. Coming up, we're going to debut Fred Bear.
Morsaki Bubasama?
Morsaki Papasana is what they call him. He was baby. But you would go, baby. But they gave away a trip to Japan to see the Romantics, Detroit's own Romantics.
Yeah.
And they had 2 geisha girls. They come up to him and they go like, Papasan, like anything else for you? And he goes, baby.
Rub my feet.
I'm too fat to get up, baby. You're gonna have to be on top.
It's you're kind of doing a little Jaime Escalante there. You're too fat to get up. Finger man.
No, at this point, yeah, because he was kind of like, yeah, it's seductive, baby.
Snap your neck.
No, it's not time to go, baby. top guy, sugar. She's top, but bring her to Japan. All right, that'll do it for us. Hopefully Will Campbell only has a sprained MCL. And then you can all be very excited and yell and scream. That'll do it for us. Hello, lights. Was that to tell us to get off the air?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe.
Oh, really, Josh?
Yeah. Did you just see his head exploding from here? It's
Hi,
fantastic.
Josh. How you doing?
What are you doing?
Hi, Josh. You want to get them on the air quick? That why you turned the lights off? I've dined at your home, Joshua. All right.